shawty treat him like a baby. All the shawty's taking all his cash. Please don't stare, he might won't get him or he come on my respect. Way too many niggas in the cut, I love love. Always lets me get the first ball. I don't care, I'll just pretend. I guess I'm better than these other chumps.
Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to the Ladder League, Week 3, Rung 3 race today. We should have a really good race today, like we did, we had a couple really good ones yesterday. Just keeps on getting better and better as we go. I'm David, I'll be commentating today. Co-commentating with me, I have Daimi.
Thank you, David. Daimi is here. I'm also going to be commentating this match. Very excited to see the level of play from these runners right now. FLAMINGLAZER, definitely looking forward to seeing him face off against TFRESH and Phantom. I think TFRESH and Phantom going to be pretty evenly matched, so I'm going to be really interested to see who can, come out on top here.
Yeah, I know FLAMINGLAZER is hungry. He did not qualify for the top 8 last Ladder League, and I know he wants to change that this time around. He has an improved PB. He's improved his consistency. I know he did have some just consistency issues last Ladder League, but he's worked really hard on, fixing those, and he is ready and he is putting in the work to qualify for that top 8.
Yeah,
So
that's what's important.
Very good race today.
Yeah.
And it may seem like he's the heavy favorite, but because he does have some disaster-prone tendencies, anything can happen, especially with some these higher level runners here that we have today.
Yeah, if Phantom or TFRESH beat Laser, it's definitely the less likely result, but it is definitely on the table. It's not out of the cards. With races in this game, we can really see anybody come out on top, at least for this matchup where everybody's relatively close.
Alright, I do know we are having a few technical difficulties with TFRESH's stream right now, but as soon as those are all sorted out, we will be able to start. I guess we can just look at the BPTs here from the 3 runners. FLAMINGLAZER with a 2:17.06, just
Nasty.
immediately, yeah, puts him as the favorite right off the bat. And 4 minutes behind Phantom and TFRESH, actually 5-second different BPTs.
Really close.
Very close.
That's decently rare. You don't really see BPTs that close all the time, but that's going to make it a pretty good match. How close these are. I do think TFRESH has a little bit of an edge with consistency of play, but really, if Phantom plays well, we can definitely see him come out above TFRESH. It's definitely very possible.
Yeah. TFRESH does have the PB advantage by about a minute, but it doesn't mean a lot at this level. A lot of these PBs have like a 1-minute mistake or something like that.
Yep.
That the runners have practiced and grinded out and are ready to fix that in their next run. It's also not out of the question for anyone to PB at this level. Anything can happen.
Yeah, 100%, David. And should be mentioned that TFRESH's Ladder League PB is right now 228 flat, but that was with his horrendous OBS crashing issue from last week. Very unfortunate. And the moderators of this tournament do account for technical issues. We add time, we subtract time. In that case, we subtracted 1 minute 43 seconds. But even if you have those disaster technical difficulty issues, and you have the time subtracted, you're still gonna have like mentality issues a lot of the time. So that's something to consider, and I think TFRESH could definitely pop off. But enough of that, as it seems race is just about to start.
Yeah, we see Phantom getting ready right away, entering negotiations. We see TFRESH and Laser starting as well. Um, yeah, so here we go. This should be a pretty fantastic race. We have some high levels runners here. We'll see some great gameplay, surely. Uh, looks like
Uh-oh.
Laser heading back to the title screen. Not sure what the deal is here.
Yeah, very
Um,
unfortunate, tapped out. So it should be noted that Gilded Phantom here is pre-recording, so that's why he started a little bit ahead of the other two. But it looks like now with the technical difficulties, they're all unfortunately pretty far apart. So that's something that should be noted. But as we get later into the match, um, hopefully that
all
won't
right.
be as much of an issue if people get
My
huge leads on each other.
My intel informs me that Flaming Laser's load remover was not working, but the issue
Oh,
appears to be fixed now. There will not be a time penalty, I would assume, as there
yeah.
hasn't been in the past for issues like that. So a bit of a syncing issue here, but we will have the exits all here on screen for you all.
Mm-hmm. 100% David. Even with something like that happening, that can I think that can mess with your mindset for the early game of the race a little bit. Even just a small technical difficulty like that. Um,
We
Hopefully
do
we don't see that, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's something to consider.
Phantom making his way through the negotiations. It was going very well, kind of had an unfortunate death there, but does have
Yeah.
0 studs on player 1. It's not going to be the greatest negotiations ever, but nothing too bad. I think this is going to go interesting from TFRESH, opting... he activates the camera pan, probably not exactly what he wanted there.
Yeah.
He did take sort of an interesting line, having to take extra hearts of damage with player 1. Not ideal heart counts. I still think TFRESH will end up saving a significant amount of time here on Phantom, as Phantom is still trying to lose some
Yeah,
studs.
definitely. If we consider that lead, then
And
T-Fresh, yeah,
yeah, right
215.
away, this sort of gives Laser the initiative. He could save 7 seconds here over the
Yeah, 100%.
TFRESH at least, if this goes well for him. Um, Phantom, yeah, not ideal. Laser taking a death as well, but yeah, very interesting. We'll have to see and make sure the runners save here. We do want them to save the game, keep
Yep,
them from risking any crashes. Really
100%.
not sure what is going on with the Laser there. He was doing some interesting character management.
Having a little bit of fun in the first room of negotiations there.
Yeah, there is
T-Fresh
nothing wrong with
does,
having fun.
yeah, that's 100% true, David. Totally agree. So we do see T-Fresh consolidating early on here above Phantom. Not unexpected. I would say T-Fresh is pretty good at this level.
Yeah,
Um,
despite the mistake, a 215, like a 215 with the mistake that TFRESH made really is
yeah,
not bad at all. He is known for being good at this level. I do think
yeah,
Flaming Laser will gain some time, and it looks like, yeah, the
yeah.
exit is
That looks pretty
212.
solid.
So slightly ahead of TFRESH. 212 with the death is not bad at all.
Yeah, and Phantom and T-Fresh are almost tied up. Phantom's like slightly ahead. That's pretty crazy to see. So that
Yeah,
means T-Fresh is like a few seconds ahead now,
yeah.
which makes sense. Yeah,
Successful invasion cutscene skip here. And I think we will just see
nice.
TFRESH experienced runner, very experienced, you could say, with a lot of games and racing and no resets. So I think
Yeah,
he has the mindset down. Flaming
yeah,
Laser also saving. We have all 3 runners saving. We always like to
nice.
see no penalties added later on.
Yeah, Phantom is probably not probably. He's definitely the least experienced with races, like out of these two, I would say. But doesn't put him out of the cards at all. Yeah, especially not
TFRESH
this early
really
on.
struggling with that Jar Jar jump and loses quite a bit of time to Phantom here, also giving Laser the opportunity to
Yeah,
just continue to extend his lead.
good
Nice.
ICS.
Good tree from Laser. We get a clip
Nice.
out. Very nice. And yeah, the ball is in Laser's court for the 1-2 exits here. We'll see. I'm curious if we'll see any drop 'em Naztecs here. I think TFRESH will probably go for it.
Hmm.
No pan up, actually. Maybe TFRESH is not gonna go for it. Never mind.
I
I
respect it.
I bet we will see one from Laser though, if I had to guess.
I don't know if we'll see one from Laser, but yeah,
Really? Okay. We'll see. We'll see.
we'll see. I don't know. I don't think I ever heard him talk about whether he's going for drop gymnastic or not.
TFRESH was an
For
early supporter of this trick, so I thought he would go
yeah,
for it. But maybe just in the name of the race, he's opting to play it
yeah,
nice and safe.
it's like 2 to 3 seconds in a race scenario. Not really all that worth it, considering it can kind of mess you up a little bit. But I don't know. If you're experienced with it, then you might feel it's worth to go for it.
Flaming Laser is flying through this invasion much cleaner than the other two runners. We see TFRESH actually lost a considerable portion of his lead there.
Yeah.
Phantom still ahead.
That was
Yeah,
a little
no
bit of
drop
a
on that there.
slimy invasion for TFRESH, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little slimy. This
Hmm.
one from Laser is a little bit crack up, though.
Yeah,
So
that was pretty solid from Laser. Good start to the race. Good first 2 levels. 458 invasion exit. Okay.
yeah, very, very solid from
Yeah.
Laser.
That puts him on a pretty good lead already. We'll see where he
Yeah.
goes with that, especially out of episode 1 here in a little while.
Yeah.
But now we got Escape, which is uh probably the easiest level in the entire game. Very, very consistent level. We're gonna see maybe a few minor differences. Maybe somebody loses 2 to 5 seconds, but yeah,
Yeah. Probably the level with the least variance in the run.
yeah, yeah.
TFRESH is pretty good at this level.
That's for
Uh,
sure.
we might even see ground shots from him, although, again,
Ooh,
playing it safe, he might opt to just skip those. Uh, okay, nice save there. Only 1 heart for TFRESH. If you play this right, you can back it up. Gets that shot. Oh!
oh, there's your 2 seconds. That's an unfortunate time loss.
Yeah, he shot too early at the start of the room, and that actually
Yeah,
threw off the last droid died too late, and that left one alive.
yeah. I would say that's not a very good sign for TFresh. If he's playing like that in a level like this, not
Ooh,
not
some
the
lag
best
frames
sign.
as well.
Yeah, the lag
We
frames.
we are gonna see some
Oh,
ground shots. This is gonna be a
ground
new
shots.
strategy. Not something you're gonna see every day.
Yep, not something you'll see every day. That's for sure. Oh my god. Okay, let's see these things.
This is the fastest strategy.
Nice. There we
Saved
go.
him maybe just under a second there, probably. Maybe a little bit more. Not
Yeah,
executed perfection, but not bad either.
yeah. It's a minor time save, but you know, if you're used to it, we take those. It definitely helps after he died in room 2. I haven't been watching Laser's Escape so much, so I don't know if he had maybe a minor time loss
I
anywhere.
don't think he's taken a death from what I've seen. He may have
Good,
though.
good. Got full
Maybe
hearts into this room, so
like a
maybe,
room
but
one death, but he might have gotten the power up as well. I wasn't paying attention.
yeah.
All right, and I mean after a very vanilla like level like this, probably the level that we'll see the most variance with in the entire race is coming up right here. I'm guessing we will see some god frauding,
Yeah,
at least from one runner.
it's
I'm not
very possible.
familiar.
Ooh, yeah, that's like 2 or 3 seconds. There you go.
Yeah,
Missing
not
the camera
exactly
pan skip.
not what Laser wants there. Probably a little flustered, and you really want to have momentum going into a level as important as this.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right,
But
let's look
all
at
right,
these leads. Laser, 22 seconds ahead of both other runners. T-Fresh and Phantom tied. That's what you like to
yeah,
see.
interesting.
Close race, but it might not be so close after this. We could see Laser fall behind the other 2 runners very easily if things go very, very wrong. Hopefully, we all see them get out, all get good pod races. I'm not entirely sure.
No lap one from Phantom.
Yeah, no
So
lap 1.
he probably not going to go for lap 3 either, which means he is going to get a very
Yeah,
consistent time here, most likely. He will
most
probably
likely.
get just barely sub 350, and that's all he needs. TFRESH also opting not to go for it. Laser, I've been
Yeah,
in VP with him. He's been putting in the work for lap 1. He's been, you know, getting coached by the people that are really good at it. So
yep,
we'll see. Just with the lead he has, he's fine with just trying to extend that with better gameplay, or if he just wants to
yep.
right away just be ahead by a minute. We'll see.
100% David. And Laser has definitely put in the time, he's put in the hours, and the chat is liking it. Now,
Yes.
Phantom, we are probably about to see a quick 0 death from this guy. Going to be clipping through the cliffside, going down left. P1, going to the video settings menu. Gotta turn on bloom real quick.
Yeah. Have to mess with
Oh,
the...
there we go, Laser.
Oh, Laser clips out
Yeah.
for lap 1. Very small height boost. This is he
Mm.
might opt to just pop back in
Ooh,
here.
that's
We'll see.
bad.
He knows the backups. There we go. Good work.
There we
That's
go.
exactly what you want. Takes 2 extra deaths, but this is still going to be saving some
Phantom
time
hitting
here.
0 death as well. Okay, let's see how TFRESH does.
Something from 0 death here.
Yep.
All right,
I don't
crucial
even
move.
think TFRESH is going for 0 death. That looks like the free
Yeah,
strat.
he's going for the free strat, so TFRESH is going to lose some time here.
Yeah.
Laser, all right, hits lap 1 and coming up on 0 death for Laser here.
Ooh. Let's see that 0 death, Laser.
All right, good setup from Laser for that 0 death.
Nice.
TFRESH also hits Pod Fraud, so nothing to worry about here for Laser and Phantom from now on. Or
Nice.
Phantom and TFRESH from now on. It is all on Laser here, so let's see if he is able to hit that lap 3 God Fraud. All right, good. Good from Laser, and just holding right.
Nice.
All right, this is another 30-second potential time save here.
All right, lap 3.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
All right, he's going to have to hit a backup here. He's going to have to get another random hype. Not random, but yeah, he knows exactly what to
Nice.
do in these situations.
Wow.
That is a perfect backup from Laser. He gets the hut boost even. Opts not to go for it because it is risky. But,
Yeah, that's a pretty large lead from Laser now. That was really, really
Laser
solid.
is going to be about a minute ahead here.
Okay.
It did not go perfectly, for sure. He took, like, 3 or 4 extra deaths throughout that pod race.
Yeah.
But, man, he backed everything up perfectly. He knew exactly what to do in those situations.
Yeah,
Very,
no
very
disasters from like anybody. Everybody like did the level as they intended to, pretty
And yeah,
much.
and now we can look at those exits. A full minute ahead, just 4 splits in.
But Phantom and TFRESH still very close.
Yeah, neck and neck.
Anybody's
BPT's
game.
2 seconds apart. Yeah.
It is episode 1, so we could very easily see them, split off. But
All right. I
Feed is
have been
definitely a level
informed.
where we can see some variation.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk at all during this level, according to my co-commentator, because.
Wait, that's not true.
Okay, no. Um, yeah, I mean, I do have the expert here in the booth with me.
Yeah, I'm a little bit experienced with Feed, so I'll let the people at home know if anything goes a little bit awry here.
Yeah.
Feed is very it's a difficult level, and difficult level in the early game gets reset on a lot and runs. Easily can see some variation. Even in the first room, you can have some major disasters that can really have somebody consolidating a lead in the early game. Laser has already consolidated his lead. But yeah, we can either see him lose a little bit of steam, or we can see somebody,
All right.
fall further
Very
behind.
wide
Phantom
maneuver
TFRESH.
around the explosion there from Phantom.
Yeah,
But successful
playing it safe.
theater clip for sure. Yes, definitely playing it safe there.
Which
Laser.
I gotta respect. Ooh, Laser having a little bit of a disaster, having
Really
Qui-Gon on the
close to
side
the
there.
end.
He falls off. That's
Yes, that
yeah.
is not
So
what you want. I could
that
see that coming.
if he backs it up well, it's about a 15 to 20-second disaster. So definitely losing some steam here. Phantom looks like he's ahead, but remember, Phantom started way earlier. So not a bad backup from Laser at all. Played the backup safe. Gotta respect that. No power up here. It's unfortunate. Definitely losing a little bit of steam in Theed Palace.
Yeah. You see, TFRESH opted not to go for Theater Clip, which is something he was talking about in his stream yesterday, just opting to play it safe. Lose a
Yeah,
little bit of time, but
definitely a
nothing
fair choice. In
yeah.
an optimal scenario, theater clip is 4 to 5 seconds, but most people aren't going to be saving that much with it. If you're inexperienced with a trick, you're only saving maybe 2 seconds. Very fair
And
choice from TFRESH.
coming up on the elevator here, and misses a cycle. That
Ooh,
is a
yeah, that's a
7-second
disaster.
time loss right here.
Yeah.
Forces the bridge with the
Ooh, one heart on both with
double one
Phantom.
heart. He needs to get the respawns here. Oh,
He
they
has the
walked off.
respawns.
He missed the elevator cycle, so the droids walked off. So he's fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
not too
T-Fresh
bad.
also going for elevator, and we can see just the left side time save visualized here between T-Fresh and Laser.
Yep, that's
Um,
awesome.
oh,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
lightsaber out makes this tough, and yeah, just a weird jump there, but backs it up nicely. Gonna be
Good
just
jumps.
about breaking. Oh,
Ooh, yeah. Got a little bit floundered there.
yeah, and we can see just T-Fresh playing the safe and smart strategies and saving a little bit of time over Laser there. Now coming up on Theed 2.
Safe and smart T-Fresh.
Yeah, that's what they call him back home.
Mm-hmm. And T-Fresh
Laser
down.
getting a couple extra hits on Padme there just to get some anger out. Oh, this is not Laser's Theed.
Yeah. This is a disaster Theed for Laser now. I mean, just that loses about like 8 seconds, I believe. So that's really not great. He's already losing most of his lead in this level. Really, we've seen a total disaster for Laser here. He's
Oh no!
now, well, okay, now like
Dude,
almost all of his time loss is just
he is
being
flustered.
tossed.
I
That's
say
really
that for
bad.
sure.
Yeah, that's really bad. Okay, well, let's see.
Well,
Let's see
on the
these swappy
positive,
strats
we
from
might see a
T-Fresh.
David route from T-Fresh here.
Mmm. Isn't that the
I
free
don't
play
know who
thing?
I don't know who they named it after, but probably a pretty
Yeah.
interesting guy.
Yeah, probably like a cool guy. Probably plays a lot of Lego Star Wars or something.
Yeah, yeah, runs the game frequently. Yeah, looks successful so
Ooh,
far.
T-Fresh going for this strat.
Yeah,
Let's
this is
go.
David
Hits it.
route.
Nice. 2-second time
Very
save in the
nice.
hangar.
Yes.
Nice. I'm really interested to see the
Laser
leads
also
here.
hitting the swappies. We'll see what strategy he opts to go for here in the hangar. No David route. It's perfectly alright. Probably not worth going for a slightly riskier strategy when you're flustered. Just finish the level out and reset mentally for the next level.
Wait, so I'm uninformed. Is the David route the frickin' killing the guy with the slash?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the hangar
Okay.
reroute, yeah.
I thought it was the free play thing. Okay, that makes sense. We do have a message from Flaming Laser on my DMs. He says, "Nice." So very unfortunate time loss for Laser there. Not
I think
losing as much time as I maybe would have thought, but that definitely hurts his lead.
if Laser worked 40 hours a week in the Theed Palace like you, it probably would have gone a little bit better for him.
That is true.
Phantom with a lamp miss. Not ideal. Actually made it up onto the lamp, which is the hard part, but missed the space jump afterwards.
Yeah.
TFRESH can make some time up here. Very
Good
nice
lamp
from
jump from
TFRESH.
T-Fresh.
Just pretty consistent gameplay here from TFRESH. Not really any disasters. It hasn't been like spectacular, but really nothing absolutely terrible so far. We can see, just look at those Theed exits. Laser goes from 1 minute ahead of second place to just, what, is that 30-ish seconds?
Yeah, around
So
30
lost about
seconds,
30
David.
seconds to the other
But
runners.
T-Fresh and Phantom still really, really close. This can go anywhere for T-Fresh and Phantom. Yeah. Really going to be interested to see what's going to happen in episode 2, especially, you know, levels like Camino going to be pretty decisive for this early game. What else is going to be decisive for this early game are, of course, going to be the DM3 droid killings, which we're just about to see from Phantom, and the cycle skips. If the runner successfully hits cycle skips, that's going to be, you know, chewing off 10 seconds. Pretty significant. Especially in Phantom or TFRESH's case. One of them hits it, one of them misses it. That's going to be whoever's ahead, most likely. Now, I do believe Phantom... How much do we think Phantom lost in DM1? David,
It was
what do
only
you have
like
to
5
estimate?
seconds.
5 seconds? Yeah. Alright, so Phantom already entering DM4. How would you rate the droid killings from Trenton Fresh here, David?
Um, they were all right.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah, all right. We'll see. Maybe we'll see some class droid killings, DM3 droid killings here from Flaming Laser.
Ooh, Phantom
But
missing the cycle skip. That's unfortunate. Okay. Ooh, missing both cycle skips. 10-second time loss. Let's see how Trenton Fresh does.
rushing them.
Ooh!
T-Fresh on double
Nasty!
controller.
Okay,
Yeah.
T-Fresh ahead of frickin' Gilded Phantom. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Well,
There we
double
go.
controller there does really provide an advantage. Not having just the 2 different input devices to press, you know, 2 different buttons on the same frame twice, and then doing that twice. It really is so much easier on double controller. So
Yeah.
T-Fresh definitely playing to his strengths there.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
T-Fresh definitely ahead now.
yeah, and
Phantom, not Laser. Yeah,
just not even
Laser
close on that first one from Laser. We'll see
missing
if
the
he
first cycle
backs this one.
skips. Okay. Missing
Really,
both.
we see Phantom and Laser really just both rushing those cycle skips. T-Fresh playing them calm and composed and just hitting
Yeah.
both.
Good from T-Fresh. Um, yeah. Definitely going to help T-Fresh's lead a little bit here. So 21-10. Yep, 16 seconds ahead of Phantom. He would have been ahead even if he missed cycle skips. Okay. Good lead on Phantom out of episode 1.
Yeah, and we can see just Maul really is a crucial level to get right. You can just any mistake that you make in Darth Maul loses you 5 seconds.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
much.
there is no room for making mistakes. There's lots of little things, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but any mistake you make is a 5-second time loss at least. So
Yeah.
it really is
Definitely can
important.
take some big time losses, David, for sure. Yeah,
Definitely important
2050
to
exit from Flaming Laser. His 1-minute lead definitely has been shaved off by T-Fresh a little bit here. 20 seconds apart. T-Fresh can definitely take in the early levels of episode 2. Particularly, I would look at Camino. High-level players are known to play Camino pretty well. Pretty much mostly going to be hitting the tricks first try every time. Hopefully we can see that from Laser today. But if we see Laser flounder, definitely T-Fresh can take the lead. Even maybe both both T-Fresh and Laser flounder a ton. Maybe even Phantom can take the lead. BHP, maybe you don't usually see as much variance, but definitely another level where if somebody flounders a lot, we can see some time made up for the other runners. Usually not a whole lot of variance. In this first room, there was pretty much almost no variance. Just taking good lines from Phantom and T-Fresh here. Looking good. As long as you don't run into like the collision that is the walls, then you're doing pretty good for this first room.
Yeah, running into the walls does lose some time, which
Yeah.
is usually ideal.
Like actually one of the most annoying things in the early game if you run into one of those walls. It doesn't even lose like the most time ever, but it's just so annoying when it happens. Alright, so Phantom in the first light room here. This one, I would definitely say is a little bit easier. Missing one of the turrets. That's not great. If you keep the turret around for too long, your torpedoes will target it. Thankfully, Phantom knows that. He kills the torpedo, no issue. T-Fresh floundering on the light a little bit. That's not going to be the best thing ever, but does get it. Probably losing a few seconds.
We get some, okay, some nice, rough
Oh, that's,
there.
yeah.
At least he hit it.
Yeah, he did hit it, but that's unfortunate. Not a good light room, first light room for T-Fresh, as Flaming Laser also goes into the first light room. Alright.
Right. Well, yeah, interesting BHP so far. We'll see if Laser has a good room tube here. I'm not sure if this level is his strength. If I had to guess, he's probably just pretty good at it, like he is at basically every level in this game. He does definitely have some strong levels in the late game, I would say. Bespin, Darth Vader,
Mm,
um, but
yeah.
yeah, it looks solid from first uh, what is it? Torpedo.
Phantom, the second torpedo room. I would say this one is harder. Would you agree, David? I would say a little bit more room for mess ups, a little bit more room for time to be shaved off for the other runners if somebody has issues. What do you say, David?
Yeah, I guess I can agree with that.
Although, looks like Phantom's playing it pretty well right now. Yeah, that looked pretty good. Not going to be much of an issue for Phantom. Good BHP overall. TFRESH had issues with the first light room, but second light room looks pretty solid overall. See how Laser does. Kills all the turrets.
Gets the
Hits the
power up
right
as well,
light.
which can be helpful.
Ooh! Does not hit the right
Into
light.
death. It's
Yeah,
fine to miss that light, honestly, as long as you can hit or to miss
right.
the turret as long as you hit the light. But
Oh, he's floundering
yeah,
right now. That's
really
very
struggling
unfortunate.
to hit it. Maneuvers perfectly around it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
not
an unfortunate time
fair.
loss. I would say definitely helping Phantom a little bit, saving 5 seconds on TFRESH compared to the mall exit. Laser should still be in the lead after that. That definitely does not help at all for him.
All right, and yeah, heading into Camino, I'd say this is a big level.
Yeah,
Sort of like I'd say pod race. Lots of difficult skips.
yeah. That definitely not as ridiculously punishing as pod race can be, but you know, if somebody's really lets their nerves get to them, they're in the wrong spot for something. They do something slightly wrong. Tricks will be punishing 100%. Definitely, we can see, even if, for example, I already said Laser and TFRESH both play really bad, we might even see Phantom take the lead. Now, Phantom, we do see his probabilities on the lower end, not going for Camino button room skip. Interesting. Okay. A little bit more of a safe strategy. The trick doesn't save a huge amount of time.
Yeah, it's only 6 seconds if you do the
Yeah,
normal strategy, and then an extra, really 3 if you don't deactivate him. Um,
exactly.
but we can see these probabilities here. TFresh slightly ahead just because of a slightly better BBT, slightly better exit. Um, but yeah, definitely interesting. They are very close at the moment.
Yeah. See, if TFresh did the trick, he could have been saving some time on him, but also doing the safe strat. Gotta respect it. Safe and fast TFresh. Right.
It's drop Zin Warp. Very nice. Laser will
Let's
be going
see this KBS.
for KBS.
All right, getting him into the spot, dropping him out. Positioning looks
Looks,
pretty.
yeah,
Ooh,
far left
that's in,
there.
right?
Oh,
It
he
is
is.
in,
Okay, very nice.
but
Interesting setup here.
yeah.
Oh, that is not good.
Oh no. Okay, well that's pretty
Okay,
bad.
he knows the backup. He's gonna get the respawn here. Again, makes a mistake, but he
Yeah.
knows the backups.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well, you aren't gonna be able to back that one up so well if that
I
happens.
don't know if does this work? It does. I guess he knows the backups better
He
than I
does know
do.
the backups. It's very impressive. He just knows what to do when
I
things
have
go wrong. But
never seen that before. Oh,
oh, okay. Well, now
he
he's
is.
not in the lead anymore, pretty much.
It is actually faster to just press the buttons there. This is just a disaster for Laser
Yeah.
here. He is going
That's the
to
kind of Camino disaster that we're talking about. I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know if maybe he just hasn't been working on the trick as much as he'd like, but that's gonna have a pretty large impact on the match as a whole.
I do have some inside intel that Laser has been playing Pirates all day as a 23-minute time save was found.
Yeah,
Um,
very big
so
time
that
save.
could be affecting some of the warm up here.
Yeah,
The Pirates any percent ladder league, however, he will be in very good shape.
that is true. If they ever do decide to get one of those going. TFRESH and Phantom both watching this cutscene. Pretty banger cutscene, I would say. What do you think, David?
Yeah,
Top 10 cutscenes?
very solid cutscene, I would say.
Yeah, pretty good. Sunk
And
cost fallacy indeed. That is very
yes,
unfortunate for Laser.
Laser will now be behind the other two runners by a solid 20 seconds at least, assuming
Yeah,
no disasters.
yeah, that's so
But I mean,
unfortunate.
we do still have some tricks coming up here. I wonder if we will see a drop Chim Warp from Laser here.
Mmm.
He might be calling in that second controller. We will see.
Now, if I do recall, it is only a 2-second time saver thereabout.
Yes, it is around 2.5 seconds,
Two and a
assuming
half.
he executes it to its fullest potential here.
Drop Gem Warp is definitely a trick that I've seen go very wrong for people from time to time, and when it goes wrong, the backup is kind of a little bit nasty from what I know, but not
Yes,
nasty in a good way.
it is incredibly easy, but it is also just once you mess it up, it is hard to know exactly why you made the mistake that you made.
Yeah.
So
Not going for it from Laser, though.
no Chim Warp here. And yeah, we will be seeing a Camino clip here, so maybe just making up a little bit of time on the other two runners, but he will be behind. Just like that, out of pod race, a minute ahead,
Yep.
and in third place, just like that, and that's the
Yep.
volatile nature of TCS any percent for you.
Exactly.
Kills one droid here. We do want to pay attention to how many he kills, make sure he gets a good seed. That was
Looks like it might just be the one, unless one of them shoots R4. Okay, it's two. That's good.
Okay, that's good. That's what he wants.
Best case scenario.
He will be on seed 2 or seed 3 here, probably
Exactly.
seed 3. But that is exactly what you want. And he will be saving about 9 seconds to the other runners there just because he did hit a successful and fairly quick Camino clip as well.
Yeah, a little bit of time save. Camino clip doesn't also save the most amount of times. With Camino, it's a bunch of tricks that you don't like save a huge amount like in of themselves, but added up, they're gonna be adding up to a significant amount of time saved if you hit them all. In this case, Laser unfortunately did not.
Yeah. I mean, R4 fly, 7 seconds. Camino button skip, really 7 or 8 seconds. Drop Zin warp really saves the most out of any skip in the level.
Which
and
is
I believe
funny because
like
it's also
17.
the easiest by far.
Yes. It's really not too much. Actually, it might be less than that. I think it's like closer to 10. But I could be wrong. It's so old. It was so long ago when it was found. And then yeah, Chim Warp really 2 or 3.
Phantom doing the slash into Droid Factory Room 2. Zach Muffin is going to be most pleased with that, as that slash is quite speedy. No death from Frederick Droidica either.
Very nice, yes.
Very nice.
Phantom is blessed today, maybe running on Justin's PC through Parsec. We'll have to ask afterwards. But,
perhaps.
I will remind chat that is not David Slash. Not every slash in Droid Factory is David Slash, okay? Yeah, try to keep those comments down.
And,
okay, we can see those 2 exits here. Laser is 40 seconds behind, or yeah, 40 seconds behind Phantom. So that is a big time loss. Definitely nothing he can't make up. He is the most skilled of the 3 runners here, but
yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, TFRESH or Phantom, they have one disaster, and maybe Jundland, DSE, Blazer can make up the time, but still, it's really, really not where you want to be.
Phantom is bringing a friend.
Bringing R2-D2? This is unprecedented.
This is actually very... Oh, never mind.
Leaving him behind. Okay.
I guess friendship is not as strong as we thought it was here.
Yeah,
over
unfortunately.
in Germany there, but I mean, he tried, and that's
TFRESH ringing around the rosy, leaving C3PO on the platform.
He just, man, there is so much swagger today. Either bringing R2, just doing an extra loop. I'm just really giving a Flaming Laser an opportunity to catch up. They're so confident in their skill that yeah, just doing some for fun strategies.
Yeah, having a little bit too much fun in the escort room for the other two runners, I would say.
Right.
Although you can never have too much fun.
Phantom doing the new warp here.
Let's see, Laser not dying to Frederick Droidica. Nobody died to Frederick today.
Very, very good RNG for these runners. Definitely
Times
feels
are
good not
good
taking a death. Yes.
in the Droid Factory. For this second room, at least.
TFRESH also doing this new Senor warp here.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool to see.
Let's see. Yep, gets 3PO
Good.
right there.
Spawn.
You also killed the Droidicas, which is really nice when you're able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. If you play it right, you can actually just not lose any time by doing it, and it makes the rest of the room much easier.
Yeah, 100%.
Alright, we'll see some 1P2C here, and I don't think the other two runners pulled this off the most cleanly, so if he manages to not die here, he will get a nice force push as well as just a quick transition
Ooh,
hit.
this could be juicy. Hold. Nice.
Yes,
That was
very
good.
nice. Well executed. It
Zaps a
did
little bit.
zap the air, but not the end of the
Nonetheless,
world.
very solid.
Yeah, now we can see these Jedi Battle Seeds. I did not count the droids killed from Phantom. He did not even go for Camino Clip, so I'm assuming it really was not much of an issue for him.
Yeah.
But we'll see, hopefully on a seed 2 or 3, kind of what you want to see for this level. Same for TFRESH. This is TFRESH's specialty level. If there is a level he is better at than everyone else, it's probably this one.
Yeah.
At least the first half.
Definitely agree.
So...
Good killing from Phantom. Yeah, that was really solid. Good pillar one.
Yeah, the first pillar really is the hardest part of the level, honestly. These second two pillars, if you know how to do it correctly, you can just sort of mash and you get a good line. Yeah,
Wow.
seems pretty good from Phantom there.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid opening. Let's see that
Laser
third pillar.
dribbling, also going for this R2 warp here.
Nice.
Not get the
Good
drop
from
in warp.
Laser.
It's the trick. No Droidica kills, and we might actually see here what some of the struggle with not killing the Droidicas can cause.
Yeah, let's see.
Here.
Not in this case. Anakin gets through.
Yeah, he got shot right as he hit the transition, but it all worked out.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, TFRESH flying through these pillars as well, heading over towards this third one. Well, Phantom gets on these RNG waves, we'll see. Looks like, I believe this is Seed 2. I could be wrong. It's been a while,
Yeah, I mean,
this is definitely
Phantom,
a one. So this is
Phantom,
exactly what we want.
I would say so far has been putting up a pretty tough race against TFRESH. TFRESH still ahead out of Droid Factory, but still, I mean, Phantom has a good wave 2 here. TFRESH's bad waves, maybe we can see him make up a little bit of time. I don't know, though. I wasn't looking at all of TFRESH's pillars, so they might have been too solid.
TFRESH has a very solid, the same, I think this is the same seed, so...
Yeah.
Very nice. A slightly worse spawn on that second droid. No, this is a different seed. It's behind him, isn't it? Or am I wrong? I thought I saw it behind him. Okay, I did not.
That's above him.
I was
Okay.
lying. Okay.
I'm taking
So,
death.
worse wave 1 from TFRESH here. We'll see at the Phantom already through wave 2. I think making some time up on Tyler here really
Yeah.
solid.
Trenton Freshwater might not be ahead out of Jedi Battle. We'll have to see. Looks like Jango Fett's going on a little bit of an expedition to shoot the enemies.
Laser
getting some
struggling with
iframes.
this first pillar, really just not what you want to see.
Yeah, that's not good either.
I thought
Not good at
Laser was
all.
gonna do the thing where, like, while you're dead, you go behind the droid with R2 and like push him closer to Mace Windu. I thought that would have been really cool to see, but he didn't end up going for that.
Yeah. TFRESH also getting iframes on Jango Fett.
Yeah, not the
Unfortunate.
dream
Okay,
2-4 here.
I thought he got iframes again. Oh, iframes again. Maybe the pressure is getting to them a little bit, both Phantom and TFRESH. Phantom sees he's on a decent enough run. TFRESH also sees that. Pressure might be getting to them. Okay, Phantom, 38.57.
Strats. really just not suiting him.
Yeah, TFRESH
These
2 seconds
levels,
ahead.
I will say, like, these two levels in a normal run really are not particularly interesting, but in a race, very
Yeah,
punishing levels. In this level, just mistakes can spiral so quickly. In
100%.
either
Yeah.
room and in Dooku as well, that you have a 20-second one try time save. So these are huge for mentality heading into episode 4, which is just like a brutal, brutal episode in races. I'd say the hardest episode in races, and just in general. But Phantom, a very heads-up play, doing a flip to avoid the lasers. Unfortunately, dies anyways. But
Yeah. Not the best
make
opening for Phantom, but that's fine for a race. You're not having
yeah,
any huge mistakes.
yeah. Having to take the one death really isn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
I thought he was on a different cycle, so the flip actually was not the play there. But
Mm.
still, still fine. It looks like TFRESH. Oh, rough
Oh
mid
no.
TFRESH
Yeah, see,
there.
that's the kind of mistakes that David was just talking about. Like, these can spiral auto control pretty
Laser
quickly.
is also on the
Oh.
droid. Finds it.
P2 dropping in halfway across the map.
Yeah,
Droid factory, excuse me, gunship moment.
yeah. TFRESH
Okay,
also
getting
just
it.
cause buffers there, but
That try, but yeah, well now Phantom's definitely consolidated his lead to a decent degree. They were pretty much tied. Now Phantom's going to be ahead. How much would you say that would be?
that's probably a solid 15, maybe even 20
Yeah,
seconds.
15, 20, definitely, yeah.
Laser also just did not have a great Jedi battle, so we'll see how that goes for him.
Yeah. Laser's mental at this point might be very, very damaged. You have to consider. Um, I think realistically, mental-wise, that's really not great for TFRESH. I think that bomb blows it up. Yeah, it does blow it up, but still. Live win prediction, Laser's
We can
still at
see
90%. Oh,
Laser
interesting.
still is at 90% heading out just because of those BPT
Yeah,
differences, how close Phantom and TFRESH are. But if these mistakes keep on coming from Laser, just
100%.
those
Yeah.
numbers are going to continue to rise for Phantom and TFRESH.
I mean, I would say I would like considering mental factors, of course, which of course the prediction doesn't consider. Good Dooku from Phantom, by the way. But I would say considering mental factors, I would say Laser's in a bad position, T-Fresh also in a bad position, because I did receive some outside source information that T-Fresh was having audio issues. That's why he got the lag frames in Escape. Um, I think both Lasers and T-Fresh is mental at this point after some technical issues, and after Laser has thrown away a lot of his time loss from, well, all of his time loss from pod race. That kind of thing can be really, really devastating. But Phantom, who is indeed pre-recording this run, he's not seeing what the other runners are doing unless he's watching right now. Um, I think Phantom is in a pretty good position mental-wise.
Yeah, we can see on this probability graph here, we see Phantom has overtaken TFRESH for the win probability at the moment.
Indeed.
And yeah, we will see. We have Dooku skip coming up here from Laser, and that will also affect. This is going to be very important. This is going to show, is Laser in it to fight today, or is this just race not going to go the way he wants it to for the entirety of today?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't want to see anybody miss this trick in a race. It's just like the most devastating thing ever. If Laser misses this trick, then I don't know where his mental's gonna go at that point. Like his mental's probably gonna go, maybe I am that bad at the game that I'm missing Dooku skip. Like that kind of thing can really dampen your prospects for playing consistently. 100%.
All right. I think we're going to see a quick and aggressive setup from Laser here.
Yeah, quick and
Very
dirty, but he
nice.
does get it.
And we can look at these episode 2 exits so far, 43-21 and 43-34. Really not what you want to see in a race like this. Not fantastic, but very sub 230able. Maybe we can see some ladder league PBs from these runners. Um, and you never know, they could just pop off in the late game. TFRESH does have more of a late game strength, I would say, especially for some of the later game levels at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%, David. Um, Something we do want to be considering is we want to be looking at the time 2:27:37, because if the second place runner does not get or beat a 2:27:37, then Coulson will be leapfrogging, and he will be facing off against Dragon 67 in Rung 2 next week. So that's something that needs to be watched. We need to watch if Coulson is going to leapfrog or not, definitely. As Phantom and, well, I mean, all three runners at this point, because Laser is just pretty far behind, unfortunately. We're gonna have to watch to see what Coulison's prospects are gonna look like going into the mid game here in episode 4.
Even with a perfect Dooku, which Laser did not have there, he would have only been still been around 20 seconds behind Phantom, and we can see he's actually 40 seconds behind Phantom. Really
Yeah,
struggled, gave Dooku some iframes throughout the level. Not what you want to see.
yeah. We do see Trenton Freshwater's BBT is 6 seconds behind Phantom now, so definitely another thing that can be watched. But total 13 seconds behind Phantom. Yeah, we need to be watching these two as we go into 4-2 into the Jumland Wastes. We can definitely see some lead switches up, some lead switch up, because you have some catastrophic time losses. TFRESH and Phantom play bad in that level. We could even see Laser take back the lead. Do I think that's particularly likely? Maybe not, but it's on the table. That's for sure.
Yeah, if there is a level that we can see disasters in, I'd say Junland is that level. We
Yep.
saw some, frankly, pretty terrible Junlins from some runners in the past, even just throughout this ladder league
Yeah.
week. And anything can happen in a level that difficult. That many technical tricks. You have
Yeah.
BBJ, you have slow force, you have the quicksand skips, you have even the speeder clip at the end can really throw a wrench in getting a good Junland. And
Yeah.
there's so many minor execution things as well that really make the 10-second difference between an okay Junland and a really good one.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely one of the hardest levels in the entire run, Junland. Right now, everybody's in secret plans. Laser's in the opening cutscene. Secret plans, pretty consistent level. You can definitely see some time losses, but definitely one of the more consistent levels in the entire run, I would say, where you expect to see runners play pretty similarly, get pretty similar times overall at this level. So far, I haven't really seen much. All looks pretty swell from both Phantom and TFRESH. Not a whole lot of variety, at least so far. Interesting. So Phantom doing a jump there to blow up those fences, a little bit different than what most people do, I think.
Yeah, right
Same
side
general
crane
idea.
from Phantom. We'll see what side crane we get from these other runners.
Yeah.
You do
No
want to
super crane
see,
disaster.
yeah, the better line. We'll see if these other runners are enlightened.
Mm-hmm. It should be noted that in Secret Plans, the end room is definitely the room where you can see the most variance and where you can see the biggest disasters. Generally, it's pretty rare, but
Yeah,
these things can
I'd say
happen.
disaster is even a stretch. Really, you would have to be trying pretty hard to lose more
Yeah,
than 7 seconds in this room. But
yeah. Definitely
see
not a major
Phantom.
disaster, but a minor disaster can definitely happen from time to time. Just pretty rare.
Doing the
Interesting.
one-player route in this room,
Yeah, one player route.
uh, opting to call in just to make sure that R2 is in the right spot for the CP. Interesting.
Yeah,
I have never seen an end room like that before. Not fast, but
yeah,
really didn't lose more than 2 seconds, so that's
yeah.
probably all right. Um,
Totally reasonable secret plans from Phantom there. Probably not losing his lead at all. Probably not even close.
yeah. I don't know
T-Fresh.
why, because that just seems more complicated than the normal route there, but Yeah, still fine. We'll see definitely a more classic route from TFRESH here, I think.
Yeah, Tyrone Freshwater going at it again. Let's see it.
Calls
There we
in
go.
player 2. Yep, this is what you usually see for this room. R2 did look like he moved into the correct spot for the CPS. And yeah, this is very very classic, exactly what you want to see. No time losses in that end room there.
Yep.
And TFRESH will be saving time in that end room to Phantom. I don't know how the rest went comparatively, but
Yeah. I think overall, based on how far apart they are, probably a pretty standard secret plans from TFresh. Let's see how Laser's end room goes. Probably going to be pretty similar to TFresh's. One more in the middle for that. Interesting.
yeah, really just trying to please both sides of the spectrum there.
Yeah.
Does get ghost hearts. Very nice. Makes this end room a lot easier. Taking the death while you're going through the hard load.
Yeah,
On
death
the
with
kill
Rebel
plan.
Friend there. Not great. But still totally fine.
Yeah, there are a lot of little things in this room that you slowly work on as you improve as a runner and you realize, wait, I'm losing time here. This is one of those prime examples. You think, oh, secret plans, this is an easy level, I won't lose time here. But there's always time to save, just in the little things everywhere, just a few seconds here and there.
100%.
Right?
With how consistent secret plans is, we see that exemplified in this level.
We're starting to get into some Junland action here. We'll see Phantom
Ooh.
probably going for slow force. Not even, no slow
Shooting some
force.
fools from across the map.
Yeah, really
Not
just
going for
going
slow force.
distance snipes there. 1P2 seeing pretty far. I'm not sure what the play is here. Are we just skipping fast force or something?
Maybe EJP fast force out of
Or
bounds?
extended 1P2C to get these guys to not bother you. This is an interesting concept I've never seen before. Kind of some interesting lines, so it's debatable as to if this is even fast, but
He did just absolutely smoke some fools doing the EJP fast force out of bounds.
also doing this on player 2 keyboard, not a
Interesting.
common strategy at all, but
This might
I
be
mean,
a little
it's
bit
worked out
based
well.
from Gilded Phantom here.
I mean, that went very well from Phantom. We'll see if this slow force even falters at all for TFresh. Phantom is going to save time.
Yeah.
All right, successful out of bounds clip from TFresh there. We have the trickiest part of the movement right here. Works out for him. BBJ here from Phantom. Never mind, I spoke too soon. No BBJ here from
Yeah, no
Phantom. Just
BBJ.
walk it in on the Bantha. Low force movement here from Tyler. All right, gonna save a second or two over Phantom. With that slow force. Really, honestly, about breaking even just because he did take the death at the end, but not bad from either runner. Basically what they wanted to see for the strategies they go for. And we'll see what Laser does here as well. BBJ, I would be very surprised if TFresh was not going for BBJ here, and yep.
Yeah, there we go.
I will say no Daime box here for Phantom. That is an instant disqualification from the tournament.
Yeah, and T-Fresh moving in, getting BBJ first try, very impressive.
Yeah,
Definitely
that's
saving some time.
13 second save for TFresh. So just like that, TFresh
Ooh.
jumped 13 seconds over Phantom. Difficult strategy, but at this point, it's been meta for years now at the top level. Really,
Yeah.
really worth implementing. It takes time, but the 13 seconds is hard to ignore at this point in the game's optimization.
100%. Flaming Laser hitting slow force,
Yeah,
hitting the
really
clip at the end.
lining that up.
Yeah.
Oh, it takes a death.
Oh,
Does he know the backup?
he's
Just
not
okay.
backing it
He's not
up.
gonna try to.
He's doing
He's not gonna.
Yeah, he's
At
also
this
doing
point,
EJP fast
yeah.
force out of bounds.
It may. I think that was the right play. Actually, he would have had to move so much farther with Luke that it wouldn't have
Yeah,
even
that's
been
true.
faster to call him in. So I think the EJP out of bounds is again the correct backup play here. Takes a death, but right. I'm a fan of this from Phantom, not going for
Not
bone
doing
grid.
EJP, going on the satellite, the O
Oh,
strat.
just complete. Well, I
Slippery,
was gonna say
gliding into the
disaster
void.
avoidance. Maybe he hasn't done this strat so long he doesn't remember the precise place that you go out of bounds. You want to go. Yep. Okay. Well, that looks good.
I think he knew where to go out of bounds, but he just like fell onto the slippery collision. So I think that's why that
Is TFRESH going for Bone Brit? He is not. I mean, he
he's not
claimed
going
it saved
for
6 seconds, but I don't know. Not 6 seconds enough for him.
I didn't see any big issues with that Junlin for Phantom, just besides,
Yeah,
losing time to T-Fresh with the strats he wasn't doing.
yeah, really just solid from Phantom, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
see what it was here. But yeah, just no mistakes. Really, that's what you need here in a race for a level as difficult as Junland. TFRESH
100%.
again, really not having any issues. Laser being the one just like with struggling. First try BBJ there, so that's gonna save time over Phantom. But with the
Yeah.
mistakes that he had in Room 1, he's not really saving any time.
Yep. Unfortunately. Really not looking good for Laser now. Now we're questioning, like, how well he's going to be able to play the later mid game in the back half of the run, because
He
yeah, I
does
think
go for it, but missed a Dimey box.
yeah,
Very
missed dying
unfortunate.
box.
Kind of lost aura there, if you ask me. I don't know. And doing it while you're the trick's namesake is in the commentary booth is almost disrespectful.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little bit. Um,
But yeah, 521 Junlin from Phantom. Very very
let's see it.
solid strategies, but
Does look like he got it.
yeah,
Okay, is he gonna?
T-Fresh actually
Nice,
T-Fresh with a 501 Junland. Uh, very very solid from T-Fresh.
nice, good one, T-Fresh. Looks like Phantom and Tyrone Freshwater are now tied after that gentleman.
Yeah,
That's
all
crazy.
tied up. Phantom was schmoovin through this level, takes a death on the troopers there, kind of unfortunate. But
Yeah,
does have player 3 glitch, no issues here.
nice. I would say this
Um,
is decently smooth sailing for Phantom now, as long as he does the movement in the pre-cantina correctly.
yeah, T-Fresh struggling a little bit in that room 1.
Ooh, yeah.
Struggling
Yeah,
to clip
struggling
as
with
well.
the speeder clip. That's unfortunate.
So we'll be losing a little bit of time to Phantom, but we'll see if they
Definitely.
manage to keep it close. He does have time to save here. Phantom took 2 deaths on the speeder, or essentially 2 deaths, and T-Fresh making it through without any. So it's going to be close
Yeah.
heading out of this.
Both
Heading out of here.
decent enough spaceports for these both of these runners so far in a race setting. Uh, both getting player 3 glitch first try. Just having a little bit of issues with the aftermath of that. Now we will see both of them hitting fry skip in just a moment. All right. Phantom going into the post cantina area of Spaceport. This looks pretty good. Looks like he's about to hit the cutscene. There we are.
Very
Nice.
nice from Phantom. That is a solid spaceport.
Yep, looking pretty
Really
solid.
no complaints from him there, aside from just a little bit in the second room.
A
But
little bit of floundering, but really
yeah,
nothing that's going to change the race.
considering that they are tied, they were tied
Well,
exiting 4-2. They
yeah, that
are
is
gonna
true.
be pretty close.
Yeah,
Again,
might
T-Fresh
change
sitting
the
in an
lead.
interesting spot here, but
Nice.
actually
Hits it
gets a
as well.
very quick trigger hit. So good from T-Fresh there.
That's
I would
awesome.
not be surprised if T-Fresh is saving a second or two there.
Laser also looks like he hit player 3 glitch first try. Nice. Right, let's see this speeder clip. Saving a little bit of time to T-Fresh there, nice. Now, if you get bad civilian RNG in the room that Laser's in right now, things can get a little bit nasty, especially in that really cramped, kind of almost hallway there, alleyway.
Yeah,
But pretty solid room too from
yeah,
Laser.
very, very solid.
Yeah, looking pretty good.
We can look again at this live win prediction. As we saw, Laser was at 93% earlier, drops 10%, and Phantom and TFRESH's percentages just continue to rise as we go on. We can actually transition here to the Phantom and TFRESH comparison.
100%.
And we can see, wow, it is neck and neck.
Yep, neck and neck.
52 and 48, with TFRESH with the more solid spaceport actually closing in some of that percentage gap between the two runners.
100%, David.
This
Laser
level
now
is
I would say.
very tricky here coming up. Yeah, laser
Princess?
coming up on fry skip here.
100%.
But yeah, this is a crucial level to get right. It's not the first one you think of when you think most difficult levels that you have to nail,
Yeah.
but there are so many things that can go wrong. You have to be on top of your game here.
In a race setting, we can definitely see some issues arise, and maybe with the TFRESH Phantom situation, neck and neck, definitely can be quite decisive in the mid game. Ooh, that was nasty from Phantom. Did you see how fast that was? He just
Yeah,
grabbed that thing.
that was really quick. All right, no backup shot from Phantom. Very confident walk over to the bridge here. We'll see if Obi-Wan decides to make an appearance today, at least a speedy appearance. And there we go. He's on his way. We'll see what TFRESH ends up doing here.
It should definitely be noted that, you know, maybe after that pretty solid spaceport, Laser's maybe feeling a little bit better. Maybe he starts playing well again. Maybe he makes up some time. Maybe, you know, in the end game, he can eventually get the lead back. But that is yet to be seen. We don't know. TFRESH playing it safe, blowing up the barrels that Obi-Wan can sometimes get stuck on there. Good play. Obi-Wan getting through. Nice. Looking good for TFRESH.
All right, Phantom with the Chewie helmet. This is a good strategy. Chewie does have slightly faster panel animations, just some high-level game knowledge, doing some good sleuthing here into how he can save just small amounts of time in this level. Very nice to see a very meta strategy here from Phantom. Jump rolling towards that final door to the last room. TFRESH also with a helmet on Chewie. One heart on Han here is interesting, but he should be fine.
Unfortunate death with Phantom there. I would say both of these princesses, we discussed how there can sometimes be pretty significant disasters. Really, we haven't seen that happen at all so far. Very solid from both TFRESH and Phantom. Still going to be very neck and neck here. I don't know who would be ahead. Maybe somebody lost a few seconds. I know Phantom just lost a few seconds to a death in the last room there, but yeah, still very close.
All right. We have a laser coming up on Princess out of bounds here. It is crucial he hits this first try just for mentality, but also just keeping pace with the other runners.
Oh.
It looks like a
commentator's curse from David Hamster.
Yeah, I refuse to believe that commentator's curse is a thing. Hits a second try, very solid. It can be very difficult to hit a second try after missing it once. But all right, we'll see how the rest of this princess goes. We do have trash skip coming up here from the runners. Last year, trash skip was not a given, and now it's just with some updates in the setup, it is expected for all of these runners to hit it, and it will be crucial for the runners to hit it. Phantom and TFRESH do have the lead over Laser, but Laser is the better runner. He has the better BPT, and if they make a mistake here, it is an opportunity for just Flaming Lasers to pounce. This is his specialty level. He has the CG in this level. He is the best at this level. He has the best practice segment. So we will see some expertise. I doubt we'll see a Chimkin box attempt from him, but there is potential for a very difficult 20-second time save he might go for. Yeah, we can see Phantom clipping out there, and we will see him attempt the trash skip movement. Yeah, that is the 100%. First part of the trick, clipping 100%. Out here.
Agree that this is a big opportunity for Laser. If both Phantom and TFRESH have huge issues with both trash skip and Ripmore out of bounds, this could be a huge opportunity. But Phantom not letting up at all with that trash skip. Well executed. Maybe a little bit slow. He got the insta-clip, but he blew him up anyways. A little bit slow. Not a huge deal. Still getting the trick perfectly fine. TFRESH getting clipped out of bounds. Not letting it up at all. That could hurt Flaming Laser pretty significantly if he is to play well in this level. Ooh, okay. Oh, it's
TFRESH
over. Yeah,
gets the auto
unfortunately.
drop out of bounds, so TFRESH is going to be losing some time to Phantom here. Phantom already 6 seconds in the
Yeah.
lead, and Phantom is just going to extend that. So really, Phantom has the initiative over the other two runners here. TFRESH does know the backup. He's played LSW2. He's played this room this way many, many times. So this is not going to be a problem aside from just the 20 seconds lost from missing Trash Skip.
Ooh,
Phantom
nasty
on 40
Ripmore
hertz
from Phantom as well.
hits,
Really well
yeah, hits the
executed.
Ripmore clip out of bounds and skips that entire room.
And to be clear, the way that TFresh just missed Trash Skip, that's a significant major disaster. A lot of players wouldn't know how to play the room after that. TFresh, maybe one of the most experienced, honestly, with how much he's played LSW2.
I would agree. But still solid from Phantom, no disasters. The rest of the room, the level here, basically is just walking through it, jump rolling in a straight line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
next big decisive maneuver here is going to see how TFresh does with Ripmore skip the Ripmore out of bounds using the sliding platform thing. Lets you clip
yeah,
out of bounds.
this level
Not
has
losing
always
his
been
helmet? Nice.
interesting here. You have to balance risky play well and aggressive, like fast play with, keeping your helmet. Because if you lose your helmet, all of that the time saved from the
Ooh,
risky play is
like
lost.
that.
He goes for an aggressive Ripmore skip,
Yep.
and he is punished. Loses his helmet, he's
A
going to
little bit too
lose
early.
time having to get another one. Actually,
Ooh.
takes an out-of-bounds death, takes a bad line.
Yeah, it doesn't go
And
far right enough.
this is an easy trick to spiral. Okay,
Definitely.
Laser here in DSE
Yeah. It totally consolidated the lead for Phantom there.
actually gets the insta-clip, but decides to take the death just to safety it.
Yeah.
Um,
Perhaps
but this,
wise. That is also what Phantom did.
yeah, this is actually
T-Fresh, what's going
for
on?
pausing. It looks like he got some more lag frames.
Oh, so he did inform me about this. This is because of his headphones apparently having disconnecting
And Laser
issues.
missing track
Oh,
skip.
that's
This is going to
definitely a disaster for Flaming Laser here. This is really catapulting Phantom to the lead, with the other two runners taking significant time losses in this level. This is very, very beneficial. This is what Phantom wants to see right now. I'm pretty sure he is watching the stream. This run is pre-recorded. Might be, maybe not watching.
this is
Yeah, definitely
wow,
a
this is
change up.
yeah,
Yeah,
man, this race is it's so close, but not necessarily for the reasons you'd want to see. It's just all the runners are having disasters except for Phantom, who is the lowest seeded, but he's playing better than all of the other runners.
yeah,
So Phantom really just has the initiative here.
yeah.
Oh
Laser
man,
playing
Laser.
so risky,
You have to be
getting an
careful. That
aggro
guy
in
is
this room.
yeah. If that guy is still alive and he can actually shoot you as you hit the
Yep.
transition, you don't have control when you hit the transition. So
T-Fresh
sometimes
is just spiraling with Ripmore skip. Oh no, this is a major, major, major disaster for T-Fresh. That is
it's
really
just like
unfortunate.
he's forgotten the movement going too far like up into the map early, and Phantom is just man, Phantom is just gonna continue his lead here
He's
over the other two runners.
cruising. Like maybe we saw Phantom do some safe strats earlier, but looks like they paid off. I mean, especially in like Jumlin, for example, but in this case, definitely paid off. He's just
T-Fresh
cruising
backtracking
ahead.
again to get a helmet.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
just
mean, this is gonna sync Laser and T-Fresh up despite Laser's just issues with DSE and just the rest of the episode 4 so far.
yeah.
But
Phantom may be having a little bit of issues targeting. Oh, maybe not. Looks
okay,
pretty
there we
solid.
go. Has the power up too. Very nice.
Nice.
This just seems like it's been solid for Phantom. He has not faltered at all during this
Yeah.
episode 4. Just despite having like a slower Junlin than the other runners because of his safe strats, did not lose any time to what he wanted to do. Very, very solid. And despite Phantom falling behind in episode 1, he is just showing
Yeah.
what solid, consistent play can do for you in races like this.
100%. We see Laser and TFRESH
Just in the
lining
same
up
frame of the cutscene,
visually.
basically. In the same scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see these exits here. Um, Laser and Phantom's
Mm-hmm.
BPT is looking very close, much closer than they were at the start of the race.
Yeah. Wow.
Laser a minute and a half behind Phantom, and Laser has a 5-minute PB advantage, I believe, maybe 4.5.
This is a pretty, as we hit about the halfway point of the run, this is a pretty dangerous situation for Laser now. Phantom definitely can hold a serious threat over him with what he's pacing right now. Phantom 20% probability. TFRESH, unfortunately, after that massive DSE disaster, has fallen behind significantly, and Laser still at 80%. That's because of his best possible time being more favorable. Uh, his best segments, his golds are just better. But in this case, you know, Phantom has just shown consistency, and he's shown that he's not playing around. He
Yeah.
um, he isn't the bottom seed, but Laser's 8, Phantom's 14, TFRESH 15, and Phantom's still, in this case, totally destroying them.
And we can see Laser's probability just continues to drop and drop as Phantom continues to just extend his lead with solid, consistent, mistake-free play. Not
Exactly.
necessarily mistake-free, but disaster-free. And really, in these races, that's what matters, especially
Exactly.
when you are going against racers who have a better PB but more prone to disasters. You just need to play to your strengths. And
100%.
Phantom's strength is just getting that sub 230 every time. He's finished a lot of runs. He has finished so many runs. For a while, there was a mental block of not being able to break that sub 230 barrier.
Yeah.
Actually broke
TFRESH
it at the start of the
having
ladder.
issues in Rebel Attack, even.
Yeah.
A little bit of time lost there. I don't not a huge amount, but hopefully we can see maybe a little bit of a mental reset with TFRESH and Laser as they go into Java's, but I don't know. It's going to be hard to like mentally reset from everything that just happened, especially for TFRESH. Um,
And we can see just in that exit from Phantom, after finishing
yeah.
Rebel Attack, another 2% advantage onto Flaming Laser.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Percentages grow almost into 1/4 now. Yeah. Would be interesting to see definitely how Phantom uh, plays in some of the really decisive episode 6 levels. Java's is important. Maybe you're not going to see as much variety in Java's a lot of the time, but if things go wrong, things can really spiral out of control. Carcoon, we could easily see a lot of variety. Endor, probably the hardest level in the game. We really need to be watching out for what happens in that level. Significant differences could, distinguish themselves. But as it stands right now, Phantom is in the opening cutscene of episode 6. Laser and TFRESH at the very tail end of Rebel Attack. TFRESH doing a quick spin. That is a good trick. But overall, with this part of the level, you're not going to be worrying too much. Maybe you lose a bit of time to unoptimal killing of the turrets in the end room. Really, the more important thing to watch is how Phantom plays his first room of Javas. You can see significant disasters sometimes. In this case, hopefully we don't see any of that, but we really don't know necessarily. I'm
All right.
personally not too sure with like how consistent Phantom is with episode 6, but so far he's shown uh, pretty good consistency against these
Yeah,
other two runners, very experienced runners.
the BPT really has not gone up much here from Phantom
Yeah,
in the past few levels. It just really like less than you would expect, honestly, which is what you want to see heading into these longer OT levels. They're longer, there are
yeah,
more difficult tricks, there are more
100%.
just punishing tricks to miss. Um,
Yeah. It should be noted that Phantom's best possible time right now, 224. His PB is 4 minutes, over 4 minutes behind that. So A little bit of a crankster emergency, I would start to refer to this run as. We do see a super jump from the spider there, getting a little bit antsy. Um,
I don't think he hit the thing there. Yes, he did not.
yeah,
Okay,
a little bit of a
interesting.
time loss, not a huge issue. Maybe nerves even playing a role. Usually, you'll see runners always hit it. Good death, very smart, taking a death with Chewy there.
All right. We will see the dropout camera pan skip here. Very nice. And
Well
heading
executed,
toward a droid avoid. This is the first real variance of the level, I would say.
100%.
This level, it's really more about the
Ooh,
small things than the big things. There are some big things though, and droid avoid is one of them.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
yeah, a very
It,
unfortunate death from Phantom, and I mean, small mistakes like this are gonna let Laser, a runner with a better gold and more experience, really start to catch up a little bit. I don't think
perhaps.
Laser has given up. He's a minute and a half behind, but Laser has the better times here in episode 6, and if he can, he is going to try to punish any mistake that Laser or Phantom makes here.
Yeah, 100%. Phantom, maybe playing a few parts of it a little bit slower than you'd like. Maybe nerves are getting the better of him. He sees this is a pretty solid run. I have to watch out now. I want to get a good time in the race. I want a PB. Um, those things are definitely on the table. One of the tricks we can watch right now is going to be Spiderless. See if he can hit it quickly, because that's going to be pretty decisive. Too far left for the first attempt. Going to be trying to clip out of bounds here with this platform. Gets a second try. Totally reasonable. This is a pretty solid Javas for him. We need to also be watching if he goes inbounds here. That can also just spell doom for his Javas if that does happen.
Well, yeah, if he knows the backup, it really isn't that bad. Only loses him 10 seconds, but
I wasn't
yeah,
aware it was
hits
that
the
fast.
warp.
Backup. Okay, that's not
Yeah,
too bad then.
yeah, hits the Rancor warp.
Yeah,
And yeah, it looks like he'll get the fast
good.
Gamorrean guard here as well. Now, as he's heading into sort of this more of an auto scroller fight, we can watch Lasers start to this Jabba's Palace here, and I imagine we're going to see some good, solid gameplay here, and I think we're going to see Laser start to make up just a little bit of time on Phantom. Any time advantage really helps heading into Carcoon, which is really
100%.
going to be the most brutal level in episode 6.
Most likely, unless, we see a Endor issue or perhaps somebody misses infinite torpedoes. God forbid. But I don't think we'll see any of that, surely. Um, Flaming Laser, no issues for this first room unless he shoots a bomb here. Good. Gets into the second room safely. TFRESH getting the helmet on Chewbacca. We did discuss earlier that Chewbacca does have those faster panel animations. So that does definitely save time. Flaming Laser, perhaps because he's behind, going
Yeah,
for Spiderful.
another Spiderful. Man, if you asked a year ago, I would bet a lot of money on the fact that this would not be done
Yeah,
in a rung 3 match.
yeah,
Takes a very aggressive line too. Very
very
nice from
aggressive.
Laser. While he has been he has been putting the practice into this. I was not aware that this is a thing that people are going for. Maybe he just recognized a good spider spawn and decided, you know what, this is worth it.
Yeah,
So he's going for the gold here, I think. So a little bit of struggle with this droid avoid.
yeah. I know Floop, Virtual Floop, has been developing the trick a little bit, but I didn't expect to see it from Laser there.
Really struggling with that droid avoid.
Yeah,
Did not really save any time with the trick, but um, heading towards the end of this hallway, and we can see if he can save some time here on the spiderless. Hits a double swap because he did go for the spider full in the previous room. All right, and yeah, we'll see. I know there have been some new setups. I think Laser might have actually learned the new setup for this trick, the new camera visual cue, and hits it first try. That's going to be saving some time to Phantom. As we can look at this Boba fight from Phantom over here, this is going to be Interesting. Phantom taking a unfortunate death with Luke there. Gonna take some extra time to activate this fight. He is doing the more consistent, safe Chewy strat there, where you move player 2 forward as player 2 can't activate the camera pan. And it very in character for Phantom, just doing the consistent, safe, smart strategy here. Not going for those risky 1-second time saves, just playing well and doing what he can. Does take a death there, which is unfortunate. Yeah, now we come up on topless here, skipping that top lever. See, Phantom is at 4 hearts here, which is nice. We'll see. Oh, interesting spot for Chewy to spawn in. And now down to 2 hearts with Luke. This is not ideal. Yeah, looks good. Very, very close. Definitely cutting it close, but makes the well-spaced jump.
Oh wow, yeah. Just I come back to seeing Phantom just.
All right. Now, yeah, heading into this next room where we are going to see Disco Skip. Again, last year, this was a point of worry for a lot of runners. Now there is a 100% consistent setup. It is all in the runner's hands. We will see Phantom going for the pixel disco setup, looking for the correct pixel visual cue on Chewbacca, lining it up, and then he will put this last piece into place, and it will clip Chewbacca up and out of bounds. Very nice, first try.
Nice.
Definitely
Getting
played it
that.
safe, but yeah, heading up, this really has not been that bad for Phantom. It hasn't been amazing, but really all you need is just no disasters here. Get a 4-5x Carcoon and just chilling. TFRESH finishing up with Jabba's here. Yeah, just a pretty large gap between him and Phantom. 3 minutes, but anything can happen in TCS. So
Certainly the
he
case.
will be continuing and doing his best from here on out. Struggle with that Gamorrean guard from Phantom on the left there, but overall just not a bad upper deck to the Carcoon sail barge.
Yeah.
Yeah, very solid from Phantom. I am sure he is not disappointed with that at all. Now we can start to watch Laser's Carcoon. Not off to the best start. Misses the jump. That first
Yeah.
jump across the barge.
That jump can be a little bit annoying to back up sometimes, but overall, hitting a second try.
Here we're
Totally
going to see
fine.
a different strategy here. He's going to be going for the camera pan skip, and this is
Ooh,
actually, we can
misses it.
see some of the advantages of Phantom's playstyle. Laser went for a strat that saves about 3 seconds to what Phantom did, but he missed it and ended up losing time because of the trick. Right. Yeah, Phantom with a 1:22:03 Carcoon, exactly 5-minute Carcoon. Not the
Nice.
most fantastic, but compared to his
Yeah.
gold, did not lose that much time to his gold.
Yeah. Not
Just
the craziest cartoon ever, but you know, if TFRESH and Laser have a bunch of issues, definitely going to be helping him considerably with how consolidated his lead is right now.
you do see Laser do the shot
Ooh.
onto Luke to reset his hearts, but misses topless,
Yeah,
and
misses topless. Is that okay? Yeah.
very nice. That was
Good
a
try.
questionable one, but he very confidently spaced that jump
Yeah, good
essentially
spacing.
perfectly and made it across. Phantom coming up on the biggest skip here in the game. I wrongly informed the viewers that the skip saves 4 seconds. It actually saves 4 minutes. An honest mistake.
A little bit of a
But
difference.
yeah, a little bit of a difference. But yeah, we'll see Phantom using 1P2C here to flip over this gate and drop out, ejecting him from the speeder. A bit of a PC exclusive
Oh, he pops back
gimmick.
into the other side.
Accidentally did not get enough height. It dropped out
Interesting.
too early, but there we go. Gets it that second time.
That's a pretty rare mistake. Usually with Speed or Showdown, you don't see a huge amount of variance, but you know mistakes can happen, and they definitely can hurt who's ever in the lead, or maybe help consolidate a little bit if the other runners make some mistakes. Laser not
Laser misses
hitting,
Pixel Disco for
yeah,
the second time now.
not hitting at first try. That's unfortunate.
So this is try number 3, I
This is try
believe.
number 3. Okay,
This is try
yeah,
number
that's not
3.
great. Getting
There
a
we
third
go.
try.
Third try. Back in the old days, third try would have been good, but especially with how much time it takes to set
Yeah,
up Pixel Disco, he is not going to be happy with that. We can see TFRESH actually
hitting a first
hits
try.
it faster, and RTA, they are very much close to
Hmm.
lined up.
Yeah.
See Phantom finishing up with this Speeder Showdown, and now we get into one of my favorite levels. We have Endor coming up. This is going to be a very difficult level for all of these runners here.
100%. Yeah. I mean, now that we're halfway through episode 6, essentially, with Speeder Showdown not having too much variance, so far, good for Phantom overall. I would say episode 6 so far has helped him stay stable, and his lead has continued to become consolidated. Now, Endor could throw a lot of that away. We'll have to see. We're going to be watching for 12 button skip, and especially the bunker, which is probably one of the hardest rooms in the game to play super optimally. Yeah, we shall see. Now, I think it is unlikely that Laser overtakes Phantom at this point with how much Phantom's been popping off, but it is definitely a pretty large possibility at this point still.
Yeah, Laser really just losing time. Again, we said Phantom did not have the best Carcoon with a 5 flat, but he really didn't lose any time with any disasters, and we can see Laser had disasters, and he's going to
Yep,
be feeling that 30-second time loss to Phantom.
100%.
And yeah, now we're heading into Endor. This is a level where it is crucial to get right. You can have just little disasters on anything. This is another level similar to Maul. Any mistake you make is not just going to cost you a second or two. It's going to cost you 5 or more seconds. So
100%.
you need to really lock in, minimize those mistakes, and experience with practice on this level is really night and day. You can see
Yep.
between some top runners here. But
Even
yeah, well,
even just the first room in Endor, you can still like see mistakes that can add up to time loss. Like the whole level is just riddled with areas where you can lose time loss. We need to be watching pretty carefully.
we will be seeing the extended 1P2C here from Phantom.
Very nice.
This shows Phantom's confidence here. Uh, all of this extra hard work by 1P2Cing, it only saves time that it takes to drop out your other character. And so we can see Phantom is confident. He is willing to do this strategy because he, oh, and
Yep,
we're
that's what I
actually going
just
to see,
discussed. You can
yeah,
even lose some time just from that kind of thing. But in this case, not too much of a big issue, thankfully.
loses 3 seconds there to that. But I mean, just dropping
Oh,
out,
TFRESH getting more lag frames. Oh no.
yeah, this is really not what you want to see from TFRESH.
That's so unfortunate. Yeah, Laser definitely sneaking ahead with what's happening to TFRESH right now. It looks like some difficulties controller-wise as well. That's very, very unfortunate.
Solid second room from Phantom there, and he is going to be heading down into the main part of the level here. This is the most important room. It has 2 skips. We have a hill roll and 12 button skip. Hill roll is sort of the older thing. He might actually not be going for 12 button skip.
Let's see.
Okay,
So
doing
he
the
does the
new,
launch there instead of hill roll.
yeah, slight time loss. It looks like
Oh.
we are not going to be seeing 12 button skip from Phantom here.
That was
Um,
also like a really dangerous move with how he was stretching the camera there. P1 could have literally redropped and lost ghost hearts. That would have been really bad. But thankfully we don't see that.
yeah. Well, we are seeing a very assertive 1P2C. That was an interesting way to set it up, but it worked out well for him. He actually,
Yeah,
oh, I
indeed.
thought he got the good RNG there. He got decent RNG there. C3PO did have to walk fairly far. And I mean, from Laser, we are going to see 12 button skip, no doubt in my mind. So we can sort of see just what can be skipped here. The 23-second time save, but Phantom
Yeah.
doesn't. He's gonna. Okay, yeah, good. That room went very well for Phantom.
Well executed room for not doing 12 button skip. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, very much. And now as he's heading over to Paul skip. He's gonna see. He's tried to do the one extended 1P2C, ended up killing his other player.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
He gets
PGA, obviously.
squashed! And he gets
Wow,
a
that was
huge humongous boost.
yeah,
Does
that launch
anybody know how he just did that?
that does not save time for the record, but
That was pretty
did
swag
not
though.
lose him that much time either. Heading up
That was
here
pretty
towards
awesome.
Paul skip. This is an ancient skip, been around for 5 years at this point, but just standing in this corner warps your other players up top. That was an incredibly fast Paul skip
Yeah,
too.
that
That
was
was
speedy.
insane.
Good.
Um,
That's gonna help him.
This is going to be a solid Endor despite the time loss in room 1, assuming this bunker goes well. Gets the
Yeah,
swap
that's
before
a
he
big
dies
if
with
though.
player 2. Very nice. See how this bunker goes for him. And yeah, Laser heads into room 1. Opts to drop out the second
Ooh.
player. Um,
Doesn't double up the cutscene there with pressing both buttons at the same time for Phantom. It's unfortunate.
Unfortunate mistake. Hopefully that doesn't throw off his momentum for the rest of the room.
Looking good.
Yeah. All right, we have the first camera pan skip here in the bunker coming up. Gonna walk around this corner, get an auto or a redrop in as the camera pan starts to play, and that will actually skip that. Pulls the second lever, and now we are headed over to Wicket's Grand Adventure. Or it's just a really player warp, sort of like Paul skip earlier in the previous room. Calls in too early, but that should work for him. Nice, gets the second camera pan skip. Now just about to pull the final lever. Laser struggling with hill roll here. Does not do the safer launch that Phantom does. And despite hill roll being faster, again, just loses time to not getting the skip first try like Phantom does. We will be seeing 12 button skip here, so we can take a look at that from Laser. This is an opportunity for him to make up some time towards first place.
100%.
Oh,
Okay.
very,
Floundering a little
very
bit there.
close. Very, very close to just getting a double first try there. Very aggressive. Very nice from Laser, though. Second try on that Leia one is not bad.
Okay.
Almost gets the second 6-button skip first try. Nice. Double
Second
second
try.
try. He is not going to be complaining about that. This
Saving
can be a
time for sure.
very, very solid Endor from Laser. Does the auto drop out as well, a bit of a recent development. And
Not bad
TFRESH,
at all.
12-button skip coming up as well.
Let's see it.
Potentially could save some time on both of the other runners.
Okay.
As I see a lot of these people doing this double jump dive onto that pillar, and I don't know, I've never been a fan. I found it always just made it more complicated. I'd rather just do a single jump off the gear onto that little pole. But
Yeah. TFRESH unfortunately having issues with this trick.
he is diving too far to the left and just really not hitting it.
Yeah, not
This
going to be
could be
saving time
another,
to Phantom with this, unfortunately.
yeah, very easy to spiral this trick.
100%.
Laser misses the setting it to the
Oh!
respawn points for that, so he's
Oh
going to
no.
retry Paul skip, and that time save, the 15 seconds he saved from 12 button skip, completely gone.
Yeah, that's more of a rare disaster. You don't see that happen all the time, but when it does, yeah, pretty significant time loss.
Very much so
Yeah,
Laser's fault, which is unfortunate, but
yeah. And T-Fresh getting Han over finally. See how fast he gets Leia over as well. This is just a huge disaster for T-Fresh, unfortunately. Unfortunately, his mental is probably very, very shot with all the lag frame issues and also just with all the disasters, especially in DSC.
You can see Phantom did get a sub 7 Endor, really not bad for
Yeah, not bad at
this
all
level.
for not doing 12 button skip. Phantom playing it safe, very wise, doing a ton of safety slashes, 3 slashes getting him in. Very
Man, and
smart.
yet again, he just is not having any issue. Like, he's just not having any disasters. And these other two runners, it's just disasters everywhere. Like, Laser probably going to save time in this bunker, but it just doesn't matter because he had a disaster on Paul Skip.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
Laser
we're
not
trying
getting
to-
the... He is getting the cutscene skip there, doing a backup. Very smart.
Yeah, very interesting there. I'm not sure. There's an easier way to back that up for sure, but what he did worked, and it wasn't that slow, so very nice from him. And we have this third camera pan skip coming up here. We'll see if this
Yeah.
works out for him. Doesn't look good considering Leia's... Okay, no, this could still work.
To Chewbacca?
Very
Nice.
nice.
That was clean.
Well, that's a 2 and a little bit seconds saved for him.
Yeah. Still not the best for Laser. Definitely could be a better Endor, but in a race scenario, not bad.
Does the fast ending, but actually goes to the back left bomb with Han, which is slower just because you take a worse line. So the fast ending did not save him any time there. Just a
I
little
actually didn't know
funny.
that. That's interesting.
But yeah, solid from Laser. Not the best, but it really wasn't the worst either. Laser, unless I'm mistaken, saving a little bit of time over Phantom there. That was what, like a 640 some.
Yeah.
So saving time over Phantom, but not much, especially for the strat differences. Laser definitely
Yeah.
could have made more up there.
Yeah, now we're watching Phantom's Into the Death Star first rune. Looks like RNG so far has been not the worst, but he hasn't gotten a stockpile of torpedoes. See if he can hit a dupe here. Nice! Hits the dupe. How is he so good? There we
I mean,
go.
he is locked in today. There's no doubt about that. Phantom is here to win. He is here to
100%.
move up to the next rung. He is here to PB too. It looks like
RNG is good enough.
very much on PB pace, and we can see he is actually closer than ever to Flaming Laser on the win percentages. 40,000 simulations, and Flaming Laser only wins in 57% of them, despite being the heavy favorite for this race.
Yeah, 100%.
So
Very, 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 very impressive performance from Gilded Phantom here. I would definitely be inclined to call this a Crankster emergency right now. With the fact that his PB, his actual PB outside of the league is 228.35.
Flaming
Right.
Laser
Oh, and yeah,
flashed onto the
another
Emperor.
disaster. That's really, really unfortunate.
And again, Phantom opts to take the 3 safety hits. Laser tries to skip them and ends up getting punished. 15 seconds.
Ooh,
He does
punished
it again.
again.
He only has 2 more chances to pull this off before he has to do the fight casually until quick kill.
Ooh.
He is heading
Well,
way too far up. I don't know what he is
nerves,
doing with
nerves,
this setup.
nerves. That's what's happening.
There we go.
Oh
That's
my
a
god.
lot better.
Okay, 3, 4 slashes. Okay.
And here we can
Major
watch
disaster. Major disaster. Very, very unfortunate. Yeah.
this live percentage change here.
Yeah.
It is going to be very decisive here.
Yeah. Showing that every level counts.
See,
Phantom
at the
playing
yeah,
average, Laser having disasters. I don't know. I think a lot of it is the mental, honestly.
see after that, Flaming Laser's chance of winning drops by 20%. We have the
Ooh.
live change here with these new computer simulations. Phantom has a
Undoubtedly.
61% chance of winning. Takes a hit in the
Undoubtedly a
core,
Crankster emergency from Gilded Phantom here.
but this is going fairly well for about as well as ITDS can go on a pace like this.
Indeed.
Has a blank.
Oh, okay. That could have been really
Leaves
bad,
with
but
his
he's gonna get
IT.
him.
Gets the brick. Very nice. TFRESH doing some interesting 1P2C here.
Interesting.
Not really fast, but he gets the trick, probably saving time to Flaming Laser.
Yeah, almost certainly. Playing it very, very, very safe, I guess is what you could call that. I've never personally seen that strat before used in a race scenario.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even say it's safer. I'd just say it's
Yeah,
harder.
fair enough.
There is a version where you don't drop out and it becomes faster, but all right. Flaming Laser in ITDS Room 1 gets his first torpedo here. Not able to dupe it.
Yeah, maybe not the best like ITDS ever for Phantom, but his consistency has just been like showing time and time again. Just showing
His
why he's
BBT
here.
has just really only gone up,
Yeah,
like, I'd say about a minute in 6 splits. And episode 6 is the hardest to match your Sob for,
yeah.
this hardest episode.
Very,
So,
very impressive.
very consistent for a no reset. The nerves are on. He has the chance to jump up to rung 2 here
Indeed.
with a solid performance here, assuming no leapfroggage from Coolison.
Indeed.
Really not a great room 1 from Laser here, but he will get some torpedoes to store up heading into later in the level.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
Phantom, 2 episodes left to go for Phantom. Very much on pace to pull probably the biggest
yeah,
upset of the ladder league so far.
undoubtedly massive crankster emergency from Gilded Phantom at this time. All of the Lego communities in Schleswig-Holstein are popping off at this amazing run that he's put on here. This amazing no reset. Let's see if he gets a switch. Nope. Clear air. As he goes into Coruscant here, is he going to be doing one player? I don't think so. Seems very unlikely. Only going into it with one player, though. Alright. Laser progressing deeper into the Death Star here. See how his turrets are going to be.
Alright, Phantom is going to be doing the 1P2C here, pushing
Indeed.
his ship slightly farther forward with the other one. Taking good lines here to try to save every single bit of time that you can in this auto-scroller.
100%. This is, for this level of runner, this is what you expect. You expect them to do the 1P2C strats here, so not surprising. I'm not very knowledgeable on this level, so I don't know how good of a, movement he's doing here, because pushing your players against a certain part of the screen is gonna save you some time. Looks like also Laser had a good core, because I'm just looking, he got the red brick, got out pretty quickly.
He did definitely save time to Phantom in that core, and he might be
100%.
saving time out of that ITDS.
Yep.
But, I mean, Laser's BPT is higher than Phantom's at this point. We have seen the overlap, and despite Laser starting with a 4-minute BPT advantage, I think it was 4 minutes. Phantom is now just has the advantage. He has the better exit. He has the better BPT, and it's all on Phantom here. With this consistent gameplay, he seems unstoppable at the moment.
100%. Coruscant, not a level where you see a lot of variance, but Chancellor, almost the opposite. Chancellor, one of the hardest levels in the game, undoubtedly. If you're doing all the strats, I don't know if Phantom will be. He'll definitely be doing Chancellor Super Jump, which is a huge area of variance that we're gonna see. Just generally, perhaps they all hit it fine, but there is a very real chance that maybe Phantom, he has issues with Chancellor Super Jump, the nerves get to him too much. Or maybe he consolidates his lead even to a more huge range with Laser and TFRESH falling further behind. with
Laser
how their mentals have been showing throughout this
Laser has
so
had
far.
some chancellor issues throughout the past
Mm,
couple weeks.
that's definitely of
But
note.
I know he has been putting in the practice, so hopefully he can overcome those. From
Yeah,
Phantom, I'd have to say I think we can expect the bare minimum. We will see Chancellor Super Jump and then the drop and warp in the room immediately after. From Laser, I imagine we'll see everything. We will see GDS, the frame perfect pause in the first
yeah.
room to save him an extra 6 seconds. We will see a new warp that'll save him around 2 seconds in the room right after. VE, which is a newer skip to save 3 seconds, an out of bounds drop and warp and some precise movement. Chancellor Super Jump, obviously, and then in the final couple rooms, we'll see the drop and warp and some 1P2C. So we will definitely
Look
see
at
some
you.
rat differences here.
Not a great cantina for Laser, but
Yeah, we'll see
yeah,
who is able to pull out the
100%.
better Chancellor. Very different playstyles, an all-out go for every strat, and a very consistent sort of Phantom mindset here.
100%, David. If we can see Phantom, try to do these more not as difficult strats, but maybe he suffers a lot. He has issues with Chancellor Super Jump. Maybe, perhaps we can see Laser make up some time here, but that has yet to be seen. With how their mentals have been, I'm gonna say that Phantom is probably gonna continue to consolidate his lead into episode 3 here. But realistically,
We are
anything
seeing
can
GDS.
happen.
Okay. Attempted GDS from Phantom does not hit the frame perfect pause. It is a 1 frame on a 60 FPS game. Definitely not easy.
Indeed.
Misses it. Not a huge time loss, though. Really not the end of the world.
Yeah. Buffer frame perfects, pretty rare. Any frame perfects are pretty rare throughout this run. That one in particular only saves about 5, so it's not the hugest issue ever that he missed it, but definitely something of note. Looks like he's doing the auto drop here.
The
Interesting.
drop or the extended 1P2C. Very nice from Phantom. Not bad start at all. TFRESH still struggling with controller disconnection issues. Definitely has not been his
Yeah.
day,
Very,
unfortunately.
very unfortunate.
Right, we'll see how well Phantom manages these droid kills. It seems very clean, very, very clean. Phantom is unstoppable at the moment. 25-21 BPT
Wow.
starting episode 3, and I mean, just anything can happen to this point. Are we
Yep.
seeing an MVE?
No way he goes for this.
Wow, very
Yep.
confident play for Phantom. I was
Wow.
completely wrong. That is a miracle that worked.
He's
And
too good.
wow,
Wait, does
flawlessly
anybody know?
executed.
Does
That
anybody know how he's so good?
that was flawlessly executed. I'm surprised that worked because the camera like panned instead of snapped, but he still got the drop and warp and he took advantage of that fact.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to see Chancellor Super Jump here. He's
Yeah.
going to
Gotta watch
nice
this
force
very
push,
closely.
set it
It
up
is
on
very
the
decisive.
left side. Now he's going to slow walk into R2, force him to jump to his last save point, cancel it
Nice.
out of bounds with the force push, and he's going to ride up this out of bounds collision to
Very
make it into the
fast.
next room. Very nice from Phantom.
Well, that just helps him consolidate his lead even more. We haven't seen Laser play this level yet, but
More
from how
trick
things
in this
look,
level here.
yeah.
Again,
Okay.
opt to play it safe,
Yep. Yep.
very safe
Yep.
with the late pause, and that's exactly what we would expect from Phantom here. Definitely a heads-up play. No point in risking it for the extra half second to pause early with the potential of just your run ending.
Yeah.
Does exactly what he needs to do. All right. Yeah, heading through this gas jump room, does the 1 gas jump. And now, yeah, heading towards the end as we finish up with a super difficult level. And man, just very calm, cool, collected gameplay from Phantom.
Wow.
Really only the missed GDS, but that lost him 1 to 2 seconds to what he thought he was going to do.
I mean, we're just when we're discussing GDS, we're discussing like a frame perfect trick. So
Yeah.
pretty crazy Chancellor. Pretty solid. Wow. I'm very impressed.
Yeah. We do see a Laser after this 10-second cutscene here will be attempting GDS. He is good at this trick, has experience with those frame perfect pauses through other Lego games. And I know he's fairly good at this trick, so we'll see if he's able to pull it off, save a little bit of time to Phantom, because it's going to be tough for him to do so in the rest of the level. And
No
misses it.
GDS. Hard trick, hard trick. Understand, but yeah, it's going to be hard for Laser to shave off significant time to Phantom now, like any at all, with how
He also,
clean Phantom was.
yeah, we'll see what that was from Phantom. Yeah, it looks like it was a 4:15. Really not bad at
Mm,
all.
indeed.
Only 2 seconds off of gold from Phantom.
Really, really swell gameplay from Phantom there.
Because Laser missed the GDS, he does not get to show off the other warp, and he's going to take a death here as well. Oh, maybe he'll dodge it here. We'll see.
No
Nice.
death,
Yeah, he
no
got
death.
the extra heart
Nice.
drop and then managed to dodge it. We have Grievous coming up here from Phantom. We'll see how these Grievuses are on Phantom's PC here. All
All right,
right.
Phantom, let's see it. All
Doing some
right.
backflips.
Very, very swaggy.
All right. Opts just to play it safe there. Take a 0 cycle because he knew he messed it up. Really struggling to connect shots with Grievous here. Not what you want to see.
Yeah, Commander Cody needs to go back into the training corps. What is going on?
One. He is not standing in the
Oh,
right spot with Cody here.
Laser MVE issues. Opening the door. That's really unfortunate.
Laser does not know the backup there, unfortunately. There is a way to save it. Phantom is really struggling with this Grievous here. A 3 cycle here is what he needs.
Yeah, going into the controller menu, unfortunately, there, when he was trying to go into the video settings menu.
All right, and a jump slash here. Really not a great
Yeah,
Grievous
not
for
what you
Phantom there.
want, but with how consolidated his lead is, he can take that. Totally fine. Especially with how Laser's playing Chancellor right now, he's the main contender to beat him. TFRESH. Unfortunately, this race is pretty much done for TFRESH at this point. He's just insanely far behind the other two runners. I'm not going to call it if, you know, Phantom or Laser have something catastrophically awful happen to both of them. Perhaps TFRESH plays everything super well. He can get ahead, but it's very, very, very unlikely at this point, unfortunately, for TFRESH. All right,
All right.
Phantom moving into Kashyyyk. This is another pretty hard episode 3 level, probably the second hardest in the episode.
This level really marks if you're a top level runner or not. The highest level runners have put hours and hours into this level, showing just practicing executing every little bit. This room is incredibly difficult to play well. You'll see the top runners,
100%.
even just with a 5-minute PB difference, saving 5 to 10 seconds in this room over just your average sub 230 runner. So we'll see how this goes. Phantom does take one
Yeah,
death, but honestly backs it up
pretty
fairly well.
solid. Good backup. All right, TFRESH looks to be going for GDS. Really setting it up. Or doesn't look like he is. Never mind.
Looked like he dropped out the... yeah, I don't really know what happened there,
Interesting.
but...
It could be an effect of our, prior stated controller issues, something like that. I'm not sure.
Alright.
All
Phantom
right.
freeing the second Wookiee over here. Looks solid so far.
Nice. Blew up those guys without a death.
Very quickly cleared those troopers. And, alright, one heart with Chewie is a little sketchy. If I were him, I would have cleared the hearts on Yoda there, but not the end of the world. Very solid opening. Again, Phantom is
Totally
just
reasonable in a race.
very solid here. We did see he lost about 20 seconds to his Grievous gold there. Very unfortunate. BPT going up, and that is going to give Laser a chance to make it up here. Laser is known for having fairly solid Grievouses.
Yeah. We can definitely see him make up some time. The most of episode 3, usually you don't see too much variance, but if Phantom has a major disaster, definitely Laser can catch up, especially with how proficient Flaming Laser is at the level Darth Vader, which is the final level in this episode. We see him, maybe do very well. Maybe Phantom falls off the house at the very end of the level. He takes an awful death. loses 20 to 30, maybe we can see Laser make up some time on him, which can change things up for, the very end of the race. But with how solid Phantoms have been playing, I don't know if we're going to really be seeing something like that.
All right, Laser has 4 cycles, much better than what Phantom had, even though it is really not great. He had a 2-3-3-2 Grievous, and he is going to be making some time up compared to Phantom there. TFRESH really low on that CSJ attempt. Actually, just at a certain point, is it better just to fall? Phantom coming up on this end room. This is the other hard part of the level. Does take the death there. Very hard to avoid. It takes a lot of
Yeah.
practice to be able to consistently avoid that death.
Yeah, this is just another thing, Kashyyyk, where you just see people who are not as practiced, proficient in the level, they'll have issues all the time with this end section. It's pretty difficult with how you're managing the camera, how you're managing the enemies, and all that. TFRESH hitting the dropping warp there. I haven't been watching TFRESH's Chancellor, so I'm not sure how good it is. Do you have any comments,
Yeah,
David? Have you been
really,
watching it?
well, struggled with that CSJ. Had to reattempt because he was so low.
Yeah.
But I haven't noticed much aside from that and the miss on the GDS.
Perhaps a miss. I do believe he was going for it. It's kind of hard to tell. It was a really weird setup
Yeah, it
there.
was an interesting setup. We do have Ruin here. I love this level. Very short, but there's some fun stuff in it.
Yeah,
Um,
100%. Music's also a banger if you listen to the music.
yeah,
We don't have the music on
very
for the
much
stream, of
true.
course.
Yeah, Phantom doing some interesting strategies there. Slashing twice with Yoda at the start of the first room, which
Yeah.
is not very fast, but it works. We'll see a red. Nope, never mind. No red staircase jump again. Just like the classic of safe strat from Phantom here.
Yeah, even with Laser there, we just saw him die with Chewie when he was trying to free the second Wookiee. So even like something like that, just losing a little bit of time to Phantom. I don't know how good the first half of that room one was, but definitely something to watch.
Do see because he forced the staircase, he is able to get 2 players starting this room. Not really any faster, but does make this room like a little easier to do consistently. You don't have to do a double swap at any point. And we're gonna see him kill these troopers. Really not great deflections at all.
Yeah,
Having to
not
kill them
very
so
good trooper killing,
individually.
unfortunately.
Yeah, usually you want to go farther up in the room so they all group together and you can kill them all with one slam or deflection.
Yeah, indeed.
But we have library skip here. Hopefully we see a first try. Looks like a good.
Typically, you expect people to hit it first try, but interesting. He had Yoda pretty far left there. I don't know how much that matters. He gets his second try. Fast backup. Not a huge issue. With his lead, that's fine.
Yoda being far left did keep it from working there.
Indeed. Okay.
The second try worked though. So really, not the best ruin, but no disaster. And we will see how that compares to Laser is doing. Laser does make up a considerable amount of time compared to Phantom, saving 30 seconds in that General Grievous. Or between Chancellor and General Grievous. And I think now we are heading into Vader. This is really where Laser has the advantage in all of these late game
Yep.
golds. Very
100%.
good at CCT, very solid. Even better at Bespin, I would say. Obviously had the Darth Vader CG. Not sure if he has the community gold, the best time in the community for that level anymore. But definitely very good at the level, to say the least.
Yeah,
We
let's see
will
what
probably
Phantom
see
goes
Killer
for
Clip.
here. It does look like he's going for the drop and warp right off the bat, which does save a few seconds.
Yeah, very much meta at this point. It's not even surprising, I would say, that
Yeah,
basically everyone goes for this at this point.
100%.
Um, no pillar clip, obviously, from Phantom, which I think we will see from Laser without a doubt.
Yeah, pillar clip saves. How much is it? 3? Thereabout? Few seconds.
Pillar clip, 2.5 seconds.
2.5. Okay. So perhaps a little bit of room for Laser to make time up on Phantom, beginning of that level, but not anything significant yet. The real significance is going to be if Phantom has a major disaster. This level, typically, you don't see a huge amount of variety. Maybe you see some variety with whether a person goes for Pillar Clip or not. Maybe, you know, at the lower levels, 230s range, 240s range, maybe a lot of people won't go for the drop and warp in the first room. But, yeah, we just need to watch if he takes a death here.
Yeah.
Really is the main thing.
We can see, looking at these win percentage chances, you can see Laser has got a little bit increase just over Phantom. Phantom hasn't had the cleanest episode 3 so far, but 44 to 66 definitely. I mean, Phantom, I don't think anybody expected Phantom to have the win percentage advantage, especially this late into the run. Quite
Nice.
literally 1 episode left. And Phantom is going to put all of his effort into trying to win here. He is on PB pace.
Yeah, I mean, this is now that we're out of episode 3, we're out of Chancellor, we're out of Kashyyyk. Absolute crankster emergency from Phantom here. We're gonna see if he can really consolidate this run in episode 5, but absolute crankster emergency, I have to say. I do. Have you ever seen this before? I don't know if I have.
This is the strat from 2019.
Interesting.
It
Okay.
saves time technically. It is not really fast, especially in this scenario. I
Yeah.
think TFRESH is more or less given up at this point and is trying to give us something cool to watch. Not really what you
Interesting.
want to see. Yeah, it
Having a little bit too much fun, as you might say. There we go. Doing it the normal way.
Yeah, very unfortunate. It is a cool strat, and I think it will be implemented eventually once we find some setups for it. It only
Interesting.
saves around a second. Maybe
Really? Okay.
it
Maybe
does
2.
not save very much. You do have to shoot 2 shots, and it's hard
Makes
to shoot
sense.
those
Yeah.
shots perfectly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I expect a
Uh,
little bit more, but yeah, that makes
plus,
sense.
plus you're still bottlenecked by the other people, so it really only
Oh,
saves
yeah.
time.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right,
Um,
let's see. Lasers. Ooh, well, he's not saving time on Phantom now after that.
yeah.
He got out of bounds, but he fell. He slid down the screen.
Yeah, that can happen sometimes, unfortunate. That's just nerves. But Laser he is very good at executing for these last couple parts. He'll probably do the jump slashes compared to the slam coming up in this room here. And yeah, I think it'll be a pretty even Darth Vader between Phantom and Laser here.
Yeah, I mean, their BPTs right now are gonna be very, very similar. They already are with Phantom getting out of Vader. Laser not out of Vader yet, not quite out of the woods. That is this level. Although these woods are not very deep. If he takes a bad death in this room, perhaps he can lose some time. But overall, we're really watching a Hoth battle now for Phantom and Laser. It should be noted that Phantom's PB is a 228.35. So, as I said before, definitely a crankster emergency. We need to see if he can consolidate his PB, consolidate the win. Laser, his PB is a 223.50. So this is a really unfortunate result for him. Not at all what he was looking for. 2.5 minutes off of his PB is what he's about pacing, and it realistically could end up being about 3 minutes off with, you know, just time lost in episode 5. So we'll have to see.
All right, Phantom now out of the longest cutscene in the game, heading through the second room in Hoth.
Good.
Hits the
Barrier
first
skip.
barrier skip, and now we'll see him head over to the second one, doing a barrel roll while riding against the wall.
Definitely not the hardest trick in the episode, but with nerves, I feel like first barrier skip can be pretty tough sometimes.
Yeah, you definitely have to know how the trick works and execute
Yep.
it well.
100%.
Does the optimal menuing there, very cool from
Very
Phantom.
nice. Very nice.
Just
Good
the little
opener.
things, Phantom is paying attention to, and it is paying off. About a minute ahead of Flaming Laser into this final episode. Will Phantom be able to hold the lead? Will his aversion to disasters, keep him ahead of Laser's faster execution and riskier playstyle?
Yeah, that's going to be the main thing to watch. pretty much every level in episode 5 is going to be pretty key. Echo Base, we're going to be watching Boom Skip, but also, you know, Dagobah, you can see significant differences. And of course, you know, the Gauntlet, Cloud City Trap, Bespin, it could easily make or break, you know, Phantom's consolidation of this race. Being 1 minute behind, Laser still has a chance. He absolutely does. But he's going to be playing catch up this whole time. Especially with just how solid Phantom's execution's been so far. We'll have to see if he plays well.
All right. Phantom's, his PB's exit from Hoth is a 2:06. So he is very much on pace ahead of his PB at the moment. Right now, it's really a question of can he get a 2:27 3x and avoid getting leapfrogged by Coolison?
Exactly.
That would be very impactful toward his race.
Yeah,
Toward his
100%.
races later in the ladder.
If Coolison can leapfrog second place here, it's gonna be putting him up against Dragon in the second rung. Definitely not what you know, Phantom or Laser are necessarily looking for with this race. So we'll see how they play the very end game here. TFRESH having issues with library skip. That's very unfortunate.
Looks
At
like
this
a
point,
very solid Hoth from Phantom.
yeah, I think so as well. That I just didn't see any major mistakes. Yeah, of course the big guys were separated, but other than that, very solid.
There we go.
TFRESH finally hitting it. Yeah, I'm guessing for TFRESH now it's just like all nerves. All bets are pretty much off about how consistent he's gonna play, just with you know, how many technical issues he's had, and generally his poor execution has just probably led him into a mental rut. Alright. Phantom and TFRESH finishing their levels at the same time. Phantom now going into Echo Base. This is one to watch for sure. Echo Base, you might not think of it as necessarily the most decisive Episode 5 level. And I would say back in the day, not as decisive, but nowadays with Boom Skip, we can definitely see Laser make up time if he plays particularly well. And Phantom can definitely lose a little bit of his lead if he flounders in different parts of this level.
All right. Yeah, Phantom 34 seconds ahead of his PB.
Yeah.
And yeah, very much on solid pace here. He knows what he has to do here, and what he has to do here is get a first try boom skip to maintain this lead against Flaming Laser. 5-2, Flaming Laser, former CG holder, very good at the level. Laser is not going to falter. It is important for him to just maintain strong pace here. Takes some deaths. Not ideal. It's a 2-second time loss.
All right, this is the moment to watch for Phantom.
Yeah, he has 3 seconds here to set up this very precise out-of-bounds clip.
Hits it.
Very nice.
First try.
That is exactly
Well
what you want to
executed.
see. First try
Good
boom skip.
movement too.
Yeah, this is...
There we go. Nice.
Yeah, got a little lost there, but not the end of the world. Takes some time to
sometimes
set it up just very carefully, but
lost
that's
in the
really all
sauce
you
there.
need.
Nice. Well executed from Phantom. Laser's going to have to match that, or he'll fall even further behind.
And I don't think this Hoth has been going particularly well from Laser either.
Yeah. I haven't been watching like too intently, but just like from how much time has passed, yeah, it looks like that bomb just missed that last guy. Wow.
Yeah, Phantom is going to carry this power up all the way to the build here, get fast build on this bomb.
Really nice.
He is just moving through this Echo Base very cleanly so far. Phantom is definitely here to win. He is not here to mess around.
TFRESH going straight into the drink. Oh, he's doing this. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is a fast
This
strat from TFRESH, I think. Not fast the way he just did it by going to the drink. Pretty oh no.
it really is not faster, I don't think. Unless you 1P to see it.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think at this point TFRESH is just kind of messing around, showing us a little bit of some
Yeah,
strats. Going
he's
straight into the drink again. As Phantom
yeah,
finishes out a very solid echo base from what I can tell. He did miss the cutscene skip at the end of the room with all the buttons, but yeah, pretty solid echo base from Phantom. Laser's going to have to play to his top level to match the echo base that was just put up by Phantom. TFRESH
Phantom
again going
with
to the
a
drink.
334. Very, very solid. Exactly what you need, especially
Yeah.
for a
Oh,
228
nice.
level runner. That is exactly what you want.
Yeah, that's really solid. That's the echo base that Phantom needed, pretty much, to definitely consolidate further into episode 5. Laser full catch-up mode right now. If Phantom has any major disasters, perhaps Laser can catch up, but it's pretty tough at this point for Laser, I have to say.
Now this
We're
here, this
definitely,
level here for Phantom is big. This is the
yeah,
boulder. Like there are obviously a lot of things in your control here, but you need to get a good boulder here. This is gonna, I mean, oh, laser. I'm not.
uh, okay, there it is. I was like, where did the cart go?
He is
Okay.
not going for boom skip.
Not
I'm not
doing
sure
boom
what
skip.
the deal with that is. Definitely not a very popular decision with the crowd here.
Yeah, the
Plus,
boomers in chat are raging.
Phantom got a 334 laser, even with a perfect echo base here,
Yeah.
with
This is
no
really,
skip.
really, really bad for Laser.
The best you can get, I believe, is like a 334 if you play the whole level perfectly with no
He
boom skip.
certainly has not, unfortunately.
And yes, this is not going to.
It looks like TFRESH is finally oh, okay, never mind. Phantom still progressing deeper into Falcon Flight. Definitely need to be watching a lot of these middle rooms here, see if he's getting good torpedo targeting for, small optimizations,
First
small
one
time
looked
saves.
solid.
Yeah.
We'll see Laser go for the cutscene skip here. I guess it is like a camera pan or a forced camera.
He does hit
Hits
it,
it.
unlike
Very nice.
Phantom. Nice.
Laser is good at this level.
Oh! Oh no. He pushed the
Pushes
box.
the box, so now he's gonna have to push it off to the side.
That's just one of the most annoying things that can probably happen,
Yeah.
like,
All
in
right.
this situation.
This is definitely the time to look at Phantom's screen here. You need to watch him blow up these
Indeed.
torpedo walls, and he is heading into Boulder.
Yeah.
Honestly, not a terrible wall, not the best, but
Not the
really not
best. Totally
bad
reasonable.
either. Yes,
That's
very much
gonna...
reasonable.
Yep. Further consolidation of this race for Phantom. We'll see if that continues to be the case with this boulder.
Oh,
Medium
very slow.
speed
Very
rotation
slow.
to very slow. Yeah, very slow now. Wow. That's not looking too good. You
Well, if
typically
he
would
can get the
want...
two on the back, the ones on the back seem to be rotating toward him. This could be
So that could be
good.
very good.
Take it a little bit. Oh, if it
Oh no, yeah. Okay. Oh,
he only
that's
has
totally
one
fine.
left.
Totally fine.
One
Totally
left.
fine.
There we
There we
go.
go. There
That
we go.
is
That
perfect.
consolidates
That
him
is
further.
that boulder
Wow.
is life on easy mode. It wasn't the best ever boulder, but
Yeah.
man, he did not have to put any effort into that. He just hits the targets and gets to go through the level. Very nice Falcon flight from Phantom. He is on PB pace here, without a doubt. He is going to give Coulson a run for his money.
Indeed. Wow. This is such an impressive performance from Phantom. His BPT right now, best possible time, is a 2:26:30. And I will remind everybody that his PB is 2 minutes behind that. He could potentially, if he plays very, very well, put up a 2:26 right here, right now. Do I think he'll do that? I don't know. It's going to be pretty tough. These
Someone
last 3
as
levels, definitely the gauntlet.
For someone as locked in as Phantom right now, it really is not out of the question. These
Yeah,
next 3 levels, not easy, but anything can happen.
for sure, for sure. He would definitely have to have several major disasters for Flaming Laser to be able to catch up now. That's where we're at now. And TFRESH is about to be going to Hoth Battle, having a little bit of fun. And making some friends along the way.
Yeah. It looks like Phantom's Dagobah Gold is a 458. So we will definitely some potential for improvement here. It should be something he is very capable of matching. Very consistent. I'm guessing we'll see a Dagobah button skip here.
Yeah. Unless he decides to play it like very, very, very safe and nerves are really getting to him, which it doesn't seem like at all. He's playing really solidly right now.
There
Yeah,
is always the factor of this race is more important than this PB to me. I want to win no matter what. I want to lock it in. But with the
100%.
factor of Coolison potentially leapfrogging him, he can't play it too safe. Otherwise, the win will be unimportant.
Let's see this. He's doing Dagobah button skip. Good loop
He
movement.
flew early.
Ooh, that's really bad.
He flew
Oh,
very early with R2. This is a fine backup. He got Luke over to the other side, which is the hard part.
yeah. It's
He's
definitely way worse falling into the drink with R2 than it is for Luke falling right back in. This is the kind of maybe disaster that I was just discussing. I don't know if it's reached major level yet, but this is definitely a disaster. Alright. He does back it up. That's definitely hurting a little bit.
Yeah, that is going to
226 is
lose
going to
him
be
about
pretty hard
20.
now.
That's going to lose him about 25 seconds.
Yeah,
Um,
226 very hard now after that, unfortunately. It is interesting to see Laser's Boulder here. Definitely a little bit faster rotation than Phantom's. I wasn't watching the beginning of it, but it doesn't look that bad. So I'm not 100% sure, but at least the back half, the last 3 torpedoes didn't look that bad.
oh, very interesting pickle jump from Phantom there, barely making it. Cuts back at the last second, gets a
Mm,
jump off of a lower pixel, it looked like. But on his way into the cave, that mistake from Phantom is going to put it within range for Flaming Laser to catch up, barring, like, if a disaster happens from Phantom here, either in CCT or Bespin, Laser
100%.
very much is capable of catching up. 80 seconds sounds like a lot until you play Bespin or CCT with this much pressure on you, and anything can happen.
Yeah, 100%. Even you can lose a lot of time in the very, very back half of Dagobah if you play poorly. Let's see how Phantom does with this fight here. Good slash. Yeah, unfortunately, doesn't get on the box right away. A little bit of a time loss. Nothing too detrimental, though. Typically, you won't see huge time losses in the very back half, like you will with Dagobah button skip. Overall, fine. Totally reasonable in a race. Losing more time there, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, missing the force movement on that box to be able to move in the camera pan.
Yeah,
This
I
is,
think we can definitely see that nerves might be getting to him just a little bit here with how he's
yeah,
playing this Dagobah, which
he
is very
knows
understandable.
he knows he can PB by almost 2 minutes here. At the start of the level he did, and now he's I think it's really getting to him. So I think he needs to just use the CCT opening, like the minute of cutscenes he has after this level, and
100%. Yeah.
just really use that to focus, lock in, and still try to get that 227. I believe what Coolison had a 227.37.
That is correct.
All right, so he needs to beat that. He needs to get a 227.36 in order to not get leapfrogged. That is the time he's shooting for. He has lost a lot of time in this Dagobah. It's going to be difficult for him to make up that difference here. He is going to need some locked-in gameplay. See Laser flying through this room. It hits David's slide. A nice 6-second time save there. and into the cave. We can watch this cave as TFRESH is making his way through 5-1, room 1. See sort of what strategies Laser goes for here. All right. Phantom is 29 seconds ahead of his PB, for anyone wondering. All right, and he is making his way through DV0 here. Going to hit this R2 super jump. Actually takes a death. The nerves really are getting to him.
Yeah. This is a classic room where if nerves are really getting to you, then you can have mistakes like that.
Laser also really struggling in the cave. He might know that Phantom is struggling, and the nerves are setting in, knowing that he can catch up. Really not what you want from Laser in the situation.
All right, here we go.
This is a
DV1.
crucial room here. DV1 panel fly coming up here from Phantom.
Let's see it.
Do this 1P2C here.
Well executed, nice.
Good. Yes, he's making his way across the gap. Takes a good line.
Ooh, that line was nasty.
Right,
This
and
is
now we
another.
have DVT. This is an important part to get right. Very easy trick, but it can very easily fall apart if you are not locked in and paying attention.
Yeah, a lot of people play this trick super risky when they're under a nervous condition. So hopefully we don't see him pop and bounce. Hopefully we don't see him fly too early, because those kind of things can happen. He didn't play risky there though. He played safe and smart. And there, he flies very high, playing it very, very safe. Nice. Well executed.
Misses the camera
nerves.
pan skip, but now we have DV3. He has just a few frames to make these jumps. Just 2. He's on 50 hertz. So 2-frame window for the first and 2-frame window for the second jump. It's not going to be easy for him here. I think the nerves really are setting in. Under pressure, this jump is about as hard as it gets.
This is just a classic TCS any percent moment.
Yeah,
that
there
you
we
see
go.
in tournaments.
That looks a lot better.
He does eventually get it, but after losing a pretty decent amount of time in that room. I'm going to be very curious to see how he plays out his best spin. He's still going to be saving significant time on Laser here, undoubtedly. But, well, not in CCT, but his exit will be saving significant time, undoubtedly. Especially in the type of situation where R2-D2 gets deactivated in the first room. Yeah, really Laser's nerves are probably setting in there with that deactivate. Very, very unfortunate.
All right, we do have this head-to-head here. We can see it is a 50-50 split.
That's
between
about
the
as
two
close
runners.
as it gets.
I believe Phantom does not go for GTF, leading to a much worse gold, giving Laser the chance to start to catch up.
That would explain it.
It does hinge on Laser getting a good CCT here, though. The computer does not know who to pick. Very, very close here. Keep in mind, Phantom did start the race before. This is an RTA lead. This is not a this is not the true extent of the gap. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, so Laser missing panel fly one time, 4-second time loss, not the hugest deal ever. Again, we want to be watching DVT.
And
need to be seeing what's going on here.
Phantom here, we can see the BPT, 227.31. He has to
Wow.
play within 6 seconds of gold, 5 seconds really, in order to not get leapfrogged. If he does, he not only will get a large PB, but move up to rung 2 in week 4, probably more than he thought he could hope for in this tournament.
100%. See, excuse me, Laser's DV3. His DVT looked pretty
First
good.
try, DV3,
Yeah.
Laser is locked in the CCT. He knows what he has to do. This has been very good gameplay. This is probably a 3-1x CCT. Very nice last DV4 panel jump. And this is not going to be, this is all on Phantom. Phantom cannot make a mistake or Laser will pounce and Laser will win the race.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a 3-1x because of the deactivating R2 in the very first room,
Oh,
but
did he do that?
overall,
I didn't see that. Okay.
yeah, back half is really, really solid. Really solid back half for Laser for that CCT. Bubba running at Phantom. Don't know what his issue was with him. Maybe he had a grudge or something.
Yeah. An
Uh,
interesting fight there. He does the newer camera pan skip. Doesn't really save any time, but just an
yeah,
interesting strategy to make the room a little bit easier for some people, depending on your play style. We'll see Chewy door clip. And I wonder, will we see a GTF? I know he knows the trick, but I don't think he regularly goes for it.
that should work, right?
That
Oh,
civilian threw the
interesting.
door off. He tried to go too early. I was
Yeah,
curious if that would work. It was very close.
yeah. Ginger Legend was running through, so that might have thrown it off. Oh, too
Oh,
far left.
you're right. Well, right away.
That's really unfortunate. That's a very, very unfortunate time loss.
Yeah.
With Laser's Cloud City Trap, even that could be very, very, very decisive. We're gonna be watching very closely, see if he goes for GTF here. Looks like he's shooting all the guys. Everybody's aggroed at him.
Yeah, definitely the smart play, just clear them out of the way. He knew they
Yeah,
were
100%.
probably aggroed considering how long the door clip took him and how long it took him to get that
Yeah,
helmet on. I'm curious what we'll see from
he's
him
going
here.
for
Will
it.
we see
Yep.
GTF? He is going for it. All
Everybody
right.
calm down.
Despite the fact that this is a pre-recorded run,
Might be a
that
little bit too
oh,
far
that's
in.
too far out. Oh,
Far out?
he gets it. He gets it. He gets
Wow.
it. All right. I don't think he gets a respawn, but this looks good. Will he hit the David line? That
Wow, okay.
probably that looks good, especially because he has Lando.
And he
He
gets the
can
respawn.
still do this. I don't know what his gold here is. It looks his gold is a 529. I don't know if that's accurate.
I mean, this is
But
looking better than a 529 at this point.
yeah, he that death on door clip was very
Yeah,
costly. Cost him
very
at
costly
least
indeed.
10, 15, probably 15 seconds, but it's
Yeah,
still doable. All he has to do is really just get a 5-3x. But that all hinges on bridge skip. Very precise, triple, maybe even quadruple damage boost needed. Will he be able to hold together the nerves to finish that run off?
yeah, something to watch for sure.
Right. Hits R2 there, give him the damage boost. Every last second counts. Every last frame hits that boost on R2. He is going for it.
Yep. Now he's just fully into in the mode right now. He's just totally focused down on it. He has only one major trick left,
Yeah.
and if he
It's the
hits
R2
it,
swap as well. Every second counts here. A
yep,
laser heading towards GTF here. Solid start from what I could tell. Laser isn't out of it either. One or two bridge skip misses, and for all we know, Phantom could be in some danger here.
yeah, very down to the wire with this one, David. That's for sure. Taking the death with R2. Let's see it. This is the moment. Laser hits elevator clip, first try,
That's
and
good.
Phantom hits bridge skip, first try.
Will it be enough to not get leapfrogged? Phantom will take the race.
That's a
Let's see what
GG.
the final time is. Oh, it's going to be close.
Wow.
Laser on the mid platform.
Yeah, this is going to be a real close one.
This is going to be really close. Did he get the sub 227.37? He
Oh.
ties. I don't know what the precedent here is for a
Yeah,
tiebreak.
I don't know what to do.
Will they just give it to Phantom? Will they just give it to Charizite? We don't know. Flaming Laser finishing up this Bespin will get the second place, but unfortunately is just going to be a bit too far behind to
Oh,
be
it does
able to.
appear that it was fixed, and now it's a 227.31. So he does
Right.
indeed beat Coolison.
Does indeed. I was going to say that was way too close to comfort. GG's to Gilded Phantom for the
Yep.
new PB, very large ladder league PB,
Huge
over
GG's.
over a minute in a no reset.
That's insane.
Definitely picked the correct race. Just picked the correct race and the correct day to pull out a PB in the ladder league. Caught Laser on
Indeed.
an off day, and that really goes to show anything can happen. Right, we have Laser coming up on the final room here.
All right. This is it.
Bridge skip right here.
Let's see it. First
Very
try as
nice.
well. Very nice. Really, really solid GTF from Laser. That was probably a really solid Bespin.
Yeah, it was very close, down to the wire.
Yeah. Wow.
4-second difference. Very, very close from Flaming Laser. He did
Wow.
everything he could, but in the end, Phantom's just consistent gameplay just barely kept him from winning that race.
Wow. Unfortunately, TFRESH still in Dagobah. His technical issues and poor execution throughout the run have just led him to this point where he's just light years behind the other two, unfortunately. So he's just completing the run right now for the sake of completing the run. He'll probably get a 240, 240 something. We have yet to see. But these other two runners, just amazing what Phantom just accomplished. Defeating Flaming Laser, he has to be really, really happy with the time that he just put up. Yeah. Wow.
All right. So now, with those two times, just incredibly, incredibly close. Not only did Phantom avoid getting leapfrogged, but Flaming Laser also avoided getting leapfrogged by just 2 seconds. Definitely
Yeah.
not the performance that Flaming Laser was hoping for today. Probably going to focus on his TCS gameplay compared to Pirates for next week. Just a hunch, maybe. But just incredibly close, neck and neck race throughout episode 5. We knew Flaming Laser had the much stronger episode 5, and he
Yeah.
definitely fought all the way through the end. Really got really got just every advantage that he could and just tried to beat Phantom. Really not going for boom skip. Kind of if he had hit the first try boom skip, he would have beat Phantom there, but just instead opted not to go for it, and that really sealed the final nail in the
Yeah.
coffin, you know?
That was definitely a major part of it. Phantom's gameplay just during the back half of this run, like considering the fact he was on a Crankster emergency out of episode 6, I mean, just really, really well executed gameplay for a race and for a no reset. And I'm really interested for what we're gonna see in the future for Phantom because that was really amazing.
Yeah, I think the best part about the race was just that insane Chancellor. He really went for
Yeah,
everything. Sort of
100%.
almost out of character strategies for him in that level. Um, just deciding to go for GDS, and even though he missed it, just did not hesitate. Still went for the auto dropout in that second room. Went for MVE, which is just very cool.
Yeah,
Hit it very quickly too,
that really
despite messing up
surprised
the
me. And
movement
he
at the
just like
start. And yeah, just
smacked
kept
that
on
thing. Like,
flying through the level.
yeah, that was amazing.
All right, we have TFRESH finishing up Dagobah, heading into CCT and Bespin here. 2 levels left for him.
Indeed. At this point with T-Fresh, unfortunately, his loss has been consolidated, but maybe he can get some good practice in, and he'll be forever respected for finishing this one out. The technical difficulties he faced during this race were nothing short of significant, and just really unfortunate. Uh, Especially considering last week he also had the technical difficulty with OBS crashing. That was probably not as bad as this match, honestly. Just really unfortunate. So let's see if he can maybe get a good Cloud City trap here.
All right,
Playing it pretty
DV0 for
standard.
him. Yeah, let's see. We'll be going for Panel Fly.
Yeah,
Fortunate
unfortunate
deflection there.
death. He was pretty far right with Luke there, so shot just killed R2, unfortunately. All right, let's see this DV1 from TFRESH. This can still be a pretty solid Cloud City trap. Yeah,
All
unfortunately
right,
missing the
one
panel.
Panel Fly miss. Hits it the second try.
For the people at home, you might not think this, the end of this has any impact on Ladder League as a whole, but seeing how TFRESH plays the end game, that's going to be like important for seeing where he lands for his next match, seeing how well he does. And I do believe he will be in the elimination rung with Revelo and Twice Light. We'll have to see how he plays against those two. I think if
Right, does
TFRESH
make the
doesn't
same
have the
mistake.
technical difficulties, I think he'll play a lot better. But yeah, deactivating R2 there, really unfortunate time loss. Just a late force push, unfortunately.
Yeah, also messes up the movement slightly. Falls too quick out of the out of bounds collision. Rides the slope here though, and we will see a DV3 from him here, maybe a first try DV3. Unfortunate, swaps just a bit too early, it seems.
Yeah, both TFRESH and Phantom missing that trick. It's like that's a trick that you only miss when you're nervous, pretty much, or you straight up don't know how to do it. But these runners know how to do it. They're just nervous. Pretty
All right.
fast,
Yeah,
totally
third
reasonable.
try from TFRESH there, making his way through DV4.
Fast DV4, not quite, unfortunately.
And all right. One level remaining for TFRESH here.
Yeah, I want to see what his GTF looks like. But to give some insight, how things are going to be looking for the week 4, we have at the bottom rung we have TFRESH, Revelo, and Twice Light. Those have been consolidated. TFRESH has lost his match, and against those two opponents, I think without all his technical difficulties, I think he could fare well against those opponents. But that has yet to be seen. Then rung 3 we have Coulson, Charizard, and then there will be another mystery person who will be decided in the rung 2 match this week. So we don't know who that's going to be yet. Then I do believe that rung 2 person also just not decided yet at all. So things have yet to be seen for the really the first 3 rungs. We just have to have the rung 2 race decided for most of those to be set up, but elimination match will be those 3.
Yeah, definitely some good matches coming up here. This ladder league has not disappointed this year
Yeah,
at all. Despite some, main competitors from last year not not participating, man, the runners, just the races have not disappointed at all. Yeah, as we talked about, week 3, rung 2 is the next race we have coming up. Senor versus Anorak versus Daimi here in the booth. Should be a
Indeed.
very good race. Senor probably the favorite, but Anorak and Daimi will definitely put up a good fight.
He will be
Uh,
destroyed.
yeah. And that is at 5 p.m. EST in 2 days from now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have
All right. Back
TFRESH
at TFRESH.
been here. We'll be jump rolling through this first room with
Ooh.
Lando.
Let's see it, TFRESH. Get Boba Fett. Let's go. Shoot that thing. Could have gotten some shots off there, but unfortunately not. Triple shotting. Okay. Not the worst ever. Not great. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, David, but I do believe TFRESH does GTF with Leia instead of Chewie.
I am not sure, but it looks like that is what he is going for at the moment.
Yeah, I do believe that is what he does usually. Yeah, unfortunate leaving that trooper alive. He was kind of not very visible because he was on the left, unfortunately. Still a trooper alive with Leia. If he doesn't kill that trooper, the guys in the next room are gonna aggro. So he notices, he kills the trooper. Smart thing to do, 100%. How are there... What? There's two? Sheesh. Okay.
Alright, heading to this final room, let's see. Does do some shots to the left there just to play it safe, get those
Very
troopers
nice.
out of the way. Yeah, it looked like he ended up getting one of them, so very nice. And yeah, we are going to be seeing GTF from him here.
Alright, let's see it, TFRESH.
Alright, he's going to be lining this up with Leia. Let's see how this goes for him. That looks like almost too far in the elevator.
I
We'll see
agree.
how that works. Oh, very
Does
nice.
work.
He gets the respawn.
Very nice.
Just barely, but very nice setup from TFRESH here. We're going to see
Yeah.
him.
Very important to watch, in my opinion, because if we see that TFRESH can, you know, play Bespin well after what was basically a disaster of a race for him with all the issues, maybe we can see him, you know, clutch out a victory if things get dicey between him, Regular, and Twice Light. So it's something to watch.
Alright, yeah, heading through this mid platform room and on using the crane to bring R2 over. And now we are heading towards the final couple tricks. We will have the box clip here with Chewie and then bridge skip. We'll see how that goes. This has not been a terrible Bespin for TFRESH here. Potentially a gold.
Yeah. I mean, that first room, really not great, but after the door clip, overall pretty solid, I would say.
Only one heart on Leia here, not
Yeah.
ideal. Yeah, that
Chewie
might
death there is
kill
not
any
great.
gold,
That's fine. Totally fine.
but yeah, and he does have the R2 on 4 hearts
Yeah.
swap, so he could potentially go for the death skip here. I'm not sure if he will. It is a risky play going for only 3 damage boosts, but that is always an option to save another 2.5 seconds here.
Yeah. Very interested to see this bridge skip from TFRESH, how he plays it. He decides to do the death, so he's playing it like he would in a race that was close. You gotta respect that.
Just barely
Nice.
gets it. Very
Very
nice.
nice.
So 3 damage boosts, enough for
Pretty
him.
solid Bespin for
Good line.
TFRESH.
And yeah, very nice. GG
241
to TFRESH.
flat.
241 flat. Actually golded by 4 seconds.
Nice.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. And
Yeah, that was an awesome race.
Yeah, great race between Laser and Phantom. Very, very close. And yeah, be sure to tune in for the next match. Daimi versus Anorak versus Senor on 2 days from now at 5 p.m. EST. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Goodbye.